On board.
Yeah. And at the end, this child, the mother is so tired of the kids squirming and screaming, she just takes the seatbelt off. She is in the aisle while we're landing. The plane is landing. And one of the flight attendants says, "Please put your child in the seatbelt. We are landing." And we were a minute or two away from touching down, and there's a 2-year-old walking the aisles of the plane.
So it was a 2-year-old who was screaming?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't that a little older to be screaming?
Yeah, well, you can't ever tell, sometimes.
How old is your son now, Joe Roderick? 4?
4.5.
Yeah. Does he still scream on flights?
He's taken one, and he did not scream.
You can start to reason with someone who's 4.5. You can start to bribe them.
Oh, yeah, you give them a tablet and let them watch their shows.
This kid had a tablet.
Yeah,
this 2-year-old was playing video games on the
That
tablet.
was the youngest girl kid I've ever heard say iPad.
Yeah.
She said
Playing the
iPad. Give me an iPad.
Oh, was she on the fan
all the
page?
kids know what that stuff is now.
She's going to be a handful. She's going to be a real snootful this one.
Doug, Priceline is in the business of saving you money, whether you like it or not. Thanks.
Yes, boy, they let me have it yesterday.
The Tim McKernan Show podcast, featuring long-form interviews with people from the world of sports, politics, and entertainment.
And our guest today, Bill McClellan. Thanks so much for coming in.
Hey, my pleasure, Tim.
What's up, Caden?
Hi, how are you?
Joe Buck, our guest today.
Man, it's like I haven't seen you in years.
More than 500 episodes and counting, and it's available wherever you get your podcasts, including the TMA STL app. Get the app now at tmastl.com.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan for Design Air Heating and Cooling. I am a very happy client. Design Air Heating and Cooling and Seth Goldcamp and his incredible staff, which you can find online at designairservice.com. Just go to the website, click on the Book Now tab, and any issues you may be having with your HVAC system, they will take care of immediately. The customer service, second to none. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling online at designairservice.com.
Degel Truck Center has been the St. Louis area's go-to medium-duty truck dealer since 1933. Degel Truck Center is a union shop looking for technicians and bodymen for both their Hazelwood and St. Louis locations, offering the highest rates of pay in the area, plus benefits. An authorized Hedo and Isuzu dealer, Degel's friendly and knowledgeable staff is prepared to make sure you have the best experience. Stop by the Hazelwood location to see their large selection of pre-owned inventory. Visit DegelTruckCenter.com to learn more. That's DEGEL truckcenter.com.
Doug Vaughn here, along with the home loan expert, Ryan Kelly. Ryan, I know you have been a long-time supporter of the military and trying to make things easier for them and more affordable for them to buy a new home. How's that going?
It's going really well. I grew up in a family full of military. My father, his brothers, I can keep going, but a lot of military in my family. I unfortunately did not serve. In my early 20s, I was doing other things, selling homes and getting into the mortgage industry. But then we sat back about 10 years ago and I said, what can we do to really help our brave service members and their family, our retired veterans, active service? What can we do? We can make the VA loan a lot better because the VA loan is one of the best benefits of being in the military. But the problem is nobody good was doing them. No one really cared about them. These banks were taking months to close them. We've changed the game on that. In fact, we close VA loans in 21 days or less. I personally pay for your appraisal and we can help you with all the VA paperwork. If you're VA eligible, let's talk about a refinance. Got questions about the VA loan? Ready to get pre-approved? Visit HeroLoan.com. That's HeroLoan.com, the only way to VA.
Yes, I am back. Blue Chew is back. And you boys need help. I know you do. So I am back telling you, go get it this time. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in a chewable form and at the fraction of a cost. Blue Chew tablets will help you with all forms of ED and provide a harder, longer-lasting erection, which I know you guys need. And Blue Chew is an online prescription service, which means no awkward doctor visits or waiting in line at the pharmacy. Process is simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you receive your prescription within days. And Blue Chew licensed medical providers are always there to answer any questions you may have. And here's a special just for you TMA listeners. Try Blue Chew for free. That's right. Go to BlueChew.com and enter the promo code TMA and check out and pay just $5 for shipping. You need a stiffy and a jiffy. Go get Blue Chew. You will thank me. Your significant other will thank you. BlueChew.com.
This is Tim McKernan. I'd like to tell you about a company I started just a couple of years ago and I still own. And it's called Sound Story. It's essentially a 1-hour interview that we do either in person or via Zoom with mothers, fathers, grandmothers, grandfathers. They come in and they tell their stories, education, growing up, and of course, family stories, the wisdom that they can share with their loved ones for generations to come. It's an audio heirloom. It's Sound Story. To learn more, go to mysoundstory.com.
The Classic Car Show and Concert, September 25th at the Factory in Chesterfield, with performances by Jackal.
When will it rain? I feel the heat burning through my shoes.
And Stephen Piercy from Rapt. Tickets for the concert on sale now. Got a classic car you want to show off? Vehicle registration is open now. The Classic Car Show and Concert. A day of fun for the family and a night of rock.
Find out how to get tickets at thefactorystl.com. Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day. Rise and shine, St. Louis. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. At the Morning After STL on YouTube and on TMASTL.com with Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Iggy Strode, The Plowboy, and Action Jackson.
7:06 in St. Louis. You are listening to the Ryan Kelly Morning After, 105.7 HD2 FM, The Potted Plant, TMASTL.com, YouTube.com/TMASTL, the TMASTL app. We're in a lot of places, and it's exciting because the show is so damn good.
Mm-hmm. It's rich with content.
It's the Mungenast 7 o'clock hour. We are in our Michelob Ultra Studios. My name is Timothy Michael McKernan. Douglas Elvin Vaughn, Kenneth Iggy Strode, the Plowhawk, Action Jackson with you on a program that solicits your involvement. Many of you have already chosen to get involved by texting in the Engineered Design Facilities text inbox, 314-881-TMA5, by calling into our Steve Schmidt Kia of North County phone line, 636-9004-TMA, and emailing in for our design, air, heating, and cooling email of the day. And we have huge news today.
What?
Huge news today. James Carlton, unfortunately, will not be able to play in the Lemmings Open next week.
Oh, my.
So guess what James Carlton said? For email of the day, I'm going to give my foursome away. For email of the day,
dude,
I'm going to give my foursome away.
The entire foursome.
If your insurance costs a leg and an arm, call James Carlton State Farm. For email of the day, I'm going to give my foursome away. He speaks in rhymes, James Carlton.
He?
Yeah, when you call there, they talk to you in rhymes.
Does he ever speak in quatrains?
Yes, he does. Yes, he does speak in quatrains.
We better step up because I know one of the guys.
The audience has been schooled.
One of the guys that wins every week is out of town.
Oh, where's he? Vacationing in the Hamptons?
In Nashville, I believe. Another guy who wins quite a bit and emails in every day, doesn't play golf. He quit because he sucks. Kevin Miller.
He just quit the game completely?
Yeah, and I think it was after I told him, you're terrible.
So you ended his career?
I think so. He was playing Chrissy Blake in the 30 versus 30 match in the Fan Page Club Championship.
30 versus 30.
And he would throw clubs and cuss, and I said, why are you doing that? You're not good. You shouldn't be throwing clubs. What, you think you're supposed to? You suck. And I think he quit shortly after that. So one of these golfers need to step up and email in.
Well, golf is, I've said this many times, golf isn't any fun if you're no good.
I disagree.
It's no fun at all.
I'm not good. I enjoy it.
I shot a 115 at Belle Reve, and I had an absolute blast. I think it's just
good is relative.
Well, I think it's your expectation level. That's the key about golf. If you go in it thinking you're going to be hitting some birdies and knocking them in close, that's going to be a tough round for you. But if you go into it thinking my goal is to not lose more than 3 balls, or make a couple decent shots.
You're actually playing a routine game.
Correct.
I mean, no good by you're swinging and missing and you're taking out foot-long divots and can't hit the ball more than 15 yards. It's just no fun at all.
Well, you should definitely go to the range or definitely go to family golf for sure before you go to play 18.
A little lesson would be helpful.
Yeah, just your basics.
So, Tim, here's a chance for somebody that maybe doesn't email in a lot, who plays golf would love to play, or somebody who wins that doesn't play can just get 3 guys that do play with his foursome and he can just hang out.
It's a $400 or $500 value.
Yeah.
The morning after at InsideSTL.com. Today, the prize is a foursome, courtesy of James Carlton. He was going to play, but now he can't play next Friday. And he is giving his foursome away for our design, air, heating, and cooling email of the day. The morning after at InsideSTL.com. Send your emails in. Another huge development. Doug, it's breaking news.
How many more developments can we handle?
The Veiled Prophet designed the This Is Brutal t-shirt. And Mike Flanagan's designer added a couple of intricacies to the design, and now it is up and available at tmastlshop.com, and this is a Jim Dandy. It's got the dump truck on fire in the Mizzou font saying This Is Brutal with the TMA logo under it. In white, if you would like, or in black. I'd like to see anthracite myself, but it is wonderful, and it is now available. Everything at tmastlshop.com is 10% off this week, as we're debuting new shirts every week. That Cardinal Banny Rooster logo thing yesterday was super popular. That's in powder blue or red. The Cardinals are coming tra-la, tra-la, available in powder blue or red. The St. Louis on the bat, that's available powder blue, white, or red. And now, This Is Brutal from the Colonel. Do we have that little drop? That is now available at tmastlshop.com. Everything 10% off. Doug, we have small, we have medium, we have large. We have extra large, but we don't stop there. We have 2 extra large, we have 3 extra large, and we have 4 XL.
Oh, wow.
They come in beach towels.
So that is
This
now
is brutal.
There it is.
God.
And it has now turned into a t-shirt.
Nice.
Does Gabe know about this? Like, is he aware?
I think if I texted him, he'd go, okay, great. That's the Colonel.
Yeah.
He kind of even-keeled.
Didn't care much about that.
Right. Doesn't care much about anything. Yes, and the somebody just texted in the Drink One license plate adds to it. I don't know who came up with that, but it may have been the Veiled Prophet. I think it was the Veiled Prophet. So tip of the cap for the design. I mean, that was something he just created on the fly a couple days ago. And then look at Mike Flanagan and his staff.
Look at him.
They turned it into a T-shirt in a matter of 48 hours. Now available at tmastlshop.com, and everything, you can get everything, 10% off. There it all is. Doug, Adam Wainwright and Yadier Molina break the record last night. Albert Pujols doesn't get a home run, but gets a key. Did he wind up getting to second base? I never really paid attention.
Yeah,
He did get to second base in the 8th inning to make it 4-1. Tam Avenue Capital Partners took the Cardinals last night, and they were plus money. Cardinals were underdogs last night. I'm sure that's the Corbin Burns factor. But they were able to hit him, and last night was a treat. The game was on FS1, so I could watch it without any buffering.
Oh.
And it's amazing. I don't know why that's the case. Maybe it's a Spectrum thing. Hell, I don't know. I just know when I watch Bailey's on Spectrum, it freezes every minute or two and buffers like I'm on dial-up in 1999.
Oh.
But this was on my YouTube TV. It was FS1, and I was able to watch the game like a playoff game and just enjoy it without any buffering. And what stood out to me early on with Wainwright is he wasn't really getting hit hard, but he was giving up hits. And after the game, he said the problem with his previous 2 starts was he was going through a dead arm phase. And fortunately, the dead arm phase has come to an end. He gets the win. He kept the Brewers in check, and the Cardinal magic number is now 12 to win the National League Central in 2022.
It was a big win, because if Milwaukee wins that, now you're 6 up, and while that's still a nice lead, it's not one that you can really rest on. And now I think the division's probably over if you're up by 8.
If their last 6 against Pittsburgh is a good thing as well.
Very helpful.
It just
And then the
seems like
next
a lot
5
more
against the Reds.
Yeah. And maybe some of the starting pitchers like Wainwright, they can give him a shift off,
Yeah.
Don't make one of your starts, rest for a week and a half or whatever you get. That would probably be helpful going into the playoffs, too.
Nicholas could use it as well.
Yeah.
Is he coming back next year, Waino? I mean,
he hasn't said he's retiring.
He still looks good. I watched a little bit of the game last night. He looks good. I mean, it's insane, his age and the amount of innings pitched on that. It's just
his ERA is 3.29. He's still probably the best pitcher you have.
How does a dead arm go away? Is it just that you're not resting it? You didn't take a start off.
Just the way a body heals. How's a sore arm ever go away?
Yeah,
just over time.
I'm really anxious to see 700, though. I know we still have 2 more to go before that elusive number, but...
3, isn't it?
Well, 2, and then the third one is the 700.
There were an awful lot of standing ovations last night.
We always give them.
I was there, and Wainwright and Molina came out of the bullpen, and huge standing ovation. And then they run to the field, big standing ovation. Here's the first pitch. Thank you, Christian Yelich, for taking it right down the middle.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, standing ovation.
That was a gesture, and then he proceeded to strike him out on 3 pitches.
Uh-huh. And then every time Pujols came up, everyone in the stadium on their feet.
Calling the nation all day.
Fans really pumped up.
Yeah. They
pumped up.
They only have, what, 4 home games left? 5?
I think I heard 8.
8 is correct.
Okay.
They had 46,000 there last night again.
I saw you were on the field. What were you doing down there, working?
No, a friend of mine bought a...
What are you doing live? Did you do sports live from...
No,
I knew it. He's hiding.
A friend of mine bought a package at a charity auction for behind-the-scenes tour, so I went with him.
Show him the showers?
Kids. We did not go to the showers.
You show him your credential?
That's a good value, then.
None of that. So we sat there, and they had batting practice, and they all got a kick out of that.
You do your sportscast from...
I don't do a sportscast now. I haven't in like 13 months.
Who'd you interview?
I didn't interview a soul. Not one soul.
The Cardinals, Doug, are only 4 back of the Braves and 4.5 back of the Mets. I mean, hold on a second here, Bill.
Oh, wait a minute.
Hold on a second here, Bill. Plowhawk, you don't have the 101 sound that they send in there, do you, by chance? Jackson, this is 100% on me because I just saw it, the email we get at 5 in the morning from the 101 gentleman. Doug Michael Paisley sends about, God, what would you say, Jackson? He sends like 50 audio clips. Yeah.
2022.
And Wainwright is quoted, clip number 14, if you have this list. I don't know if you do. On if the Cardinals are motivated to pass the Mets and Braves. If we're talking about the Brewers getting within shouting distance, if they were to win and be within 6, the Cardinals are now within 4.5 of the Mets.
Oh, yeah.
And the Mets and Braves do play each other. I think it's the final weekend in September. The Cardinals do have a nice round of butt asses this weekend with 5 with the Reds. Now, the Reds are playing pretty well. I know they've lost 6 in a row, but you got to watch the game.
You have to ignore that.
Yes.
Because that's results-oriented.
Thank you. And the Padres and Dodgers is a tester. That'll be a tester next week. But then you finish off with 2 against the Brewers and Milwaukee, and then you get a lot of Pirates and Pirates to finish things off. So let's see what we got here.
It had the question included, by the way.
All right.
Sweet.
Hit the lever, Plowsy.
There's only one team with more home wins in the National League than you guys. And after tonight, you guys are 4 behind the Mets and Braves on the loss side. How much of a carrot is getting a bye for you guys right now?
Yeah. It's right there, right? Might as well reach for it. That's what we're trying. I mean, that's something we decided a week ago or so. It's started looking at that Mets Braves team, and I don't want to give too much away because I don't want them knowing we're trying to catch them, but they probably know that. That was something we decided as a team that, the worst thing that can happen is we get complacent and get comfortable with this big lead we have. There's an opportunity ahead of us to reach that carrot that you said, that whoever's ahead of us get that number 2 seed. That's a real thing. That could happen. I mean, I've seen this team come back from 10.5 in September. So, 4 doesn't sound like a whole lot to me. But it's there, and it's something that we're not getting tight. We're not trying to do too much. We're just going out and playing with that as motivation, and we'll see what happens. All we can do is win our games.
There it is. Adam Wainwright on the Cardinals getting together and trying to focus on catching them. Now, the Mets and Braves will play each other. The Mets' schedule is really favorable, but they've lost 3 in a row. And, Doug, the Cardinals are coming.
Tra-la, tra-la.
Yeah, it does say tra-la, tra-la here.
I believe there's a shirt to that.
That is correct. TMASTLshop.com.
Yeah.
Well, that goes to my point when I talked about other teams, grooving the ball for Pujols that, have no shot. He even said, a week ago we decided, why don't we go for it? Don't get complacent. So, there are guys that just go out there and it's nothing to play for. And they just kind of go through it, and I'm sure pitchers do that too on teams that suck.
Oh, they might. If you're hopelessly out of it and you've got a guaranteed contract locked up, you might have a little bit more of a casual attitude, I suppose. But for a lot of them, especially on the bad teams, those are players that are just up or trying to hang on to the major leagues. And, they're trying their best to
stick with it.
No, you don't get that many September call-ups. What are you getting?
No, but you get. Yeah, I'm sure that the Pirates and Reds rosters are loaded with guys still trying to prove that they belong in the major leagues, and the last thing they want to do is take an 0 for 30 in the last couple of weeks of the season.
I don't know anybody on the Pirates. I watched last time we played them. I looked at their roster.
Yeah.
I didn't. But Adam Wainwright's like a walking soundbite.
He is.
I mean, that's like one of the best answers you could possibly give to that question. I mean,
speaking to the point, the Mets have lost 3 straight, not to the Dodgers or to the Phillies, but to the Cubs. They were swept by the Cubs. And that includes the Cubs beating Jacob deGrom. So,
just because hell, they's on scholarship too.
Yep, they're on a scholarship.
We saw the Cardinals had problems with Washington and Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they were put to the test anyway by those teams.
Yeah, and the Cardinals were rolling at the time.
Well, the Mets will now have to deal with Pittsburgh, Doug. The Pirates are legitimately on a heater. They have won, I think, 4 in a row, and the Pirates have 4 now with the Mets over starting tonight, actually, and then over the weekend. Meanwhile, the Braves this weekend, who the Cardinals are, as you heard Randy Character asking Adam Wainwright, they're 4 back on the loss side of both of those teams. The Braves will take on the Phillies, so that is a test because the Phillies are fighting for a playoff spot, and they will have to deal with them this weekend, and they will be dealing with Aaron Nola, one of those starts. And he can flat out deal.
He can deal.
He's got a .97 whip.
Dude is a machine.
Yeah.
Philadelphia's what, 3 or 4 games up on Milwaukee?
Who's that?
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia? I'll have to take a look.
I don't think they're that far back. I think they were just 2 out as of last night. They lost. It might be 3.
My nurse knows.
2 or 3.
My nurse has it at 2.
Yeah, they're still very much in it.
So do you want?
Well, they're 4.5. Well, it's the Phillies, Padres, Brewers. That's the order behind the Braves, who are in a spot where they're going to get in pretty much no matter what. But then you have the Phillies and Padres and Brewers fighting for the 2 final spots.
Now, that was a big game last night for the Brewers in a lot of different ways. And they had men all over the bases, just couldn't get the big hit.
Yeah, what, 14? 14 lob?
I think lob
like
was right around 14. Yeah, Wainwright gave up 8 hits and 2 walks in 5 innings, somehow only 1 run. That's usually a recipe for disaster there. But they were able to get the outs with 2 men out.
Bullpen only gave up 2 hits. A couple walks.
Yeah, bullpen looked very good.
I always wondered what Doug meant by chase the carrot when he'd have me tie a carrot waist high right above my butt and have me run around his backyard.
Okay, that's enough.
Nice.
Who was that, Tim?
Wedding tackle. All he was doing was talking about the Wainwright soundbite.
No, I don't think so. Wedding tackle got himself suspended. Appeared a few days' time. His name right now is going to the suspension log. You don't expect it felt very good. Okay.
Hillsider's brother, I believe.
Oh, all right. He was caddying?
Yeah. Nice enough guy.
Seems like it.
Seemed to be a guy that chases butts.
As per usual, a lot of Pepper and Genie feedback.
How did it go yesterday?
It was a Hedo Q&A.
Doug, a Hedo Q&A.
And it wasn't my idea.
It was mine, and I thought it was fine.
People say I talk all the time, so yesterday I purposely started the thing by saying, Plowsy, your show, what do you want to talk about? Let's go. I want to do a Hedo Q&A, which is going to go straight to me.
Sure it would. You're the expert.
So it wasn't my idea.
So we have Worsonwood's Wacko, huge fan. Harrison's Brother Master, very critical. Worsonwood's Wacko writes, yesterday's P&G was hands down the greatest episode ever. Iggy giving detailed Hedo stories is gold, absolute gold. More P&G and less of that moron Mr. Licks. That's from the Worsonwood's Wacko. And then Harrison's Brother Master said, hey guys, gave Pepper and Genie another listen yesterday. It's literally Pepper talking the entire time. Genie can't even get in one sentence. It's brutal. That's from Harrison's Brother Master.
Look, the first comment by Wacko I thought was accurate about the episode. I thought Iggy went more in depth. I had some questions about, a first-timer going to Hedo, the do's and don'ts of, a threesome or a moresome. So, yeah, I thought off the cuff, I thought it was good.
Huh.
But, again, I felt bad. Iggy was kind of talking more because it was more Hedo stories. Obviously, this is our Hedo correspondent. So
yeah, he is a correspondent.
So
yeah,
I'll
I
talk
just
more to
I
that.
just went with you. Today's is your show.
So there were some good stories that we hadn't heard yet?
I think I went more in depth. I can go more
Yeah.
in depth on podcast. Say things I can't say on terrestrial radio.
Again, that's why I thought it was really good. But, some people like something, Dougie.
Other people don't like
Mr. Licks, official Pepper and Genie critic, says, I will be calling in today or tomorrow. This is not over. From Mr. Licks. I don't know what that means. I don't know what people thought was. Doug, what did people think was over?
I don't know. Him, his reign of terror.
Yeah, because people really want to hear your calls about Pepper and Genie. So enlightening.
I think Mungenast calling Jamie Burkhardt can be enlightening. You go to stlouisacura.com or altontoyota.com, and you're going shopping now, and you can look for the new inventory, pre-owned inventory, or get your car serviced at Mungenast, even if you get your car from Mungenast. stlouisacura.com and altontoyota.com, and if you'd like an introduction to Jamie Burkhardt and the wonderful staff at Mungenast, Clayton Patterson, Peter Mungenast, everybody there, email me, T. McKernan at InsideSTL.com, and they will take wonderful care of you. It's Mungenast, St. Louis Acura, and Alton Toyota. Doug, what about Mark Milton? Is he the STL tax lawyer?
Well, that's exactly who he is. And if you got any kind of tax problems, any kind of tax questions at all, this is the guy you call. This is the guy you turn to because he's got all the answers. I've been working with Mark Milton for a couple of years now. A lot of our listeners have, and you should. You've probably heard by now that the IRS is receiving an additional $80 billion in funding to increase enforcement and audits of taxpayers. If that news worries you a little bit, contact former Department of Justice Tax Division Attorney Mark Milton at stltaxlawyer.com. If you have unfiled tax returns, now is the time to act. That problem is not going to go away, and you need some help. Mark and his team focus on tax debt resolution and can help with years of unfiled tax returns, defense against audits, and even criminal tax investigations. So clean up your tax situation now. Get yourself back into compliance before all those new IRS agents are hired and enforcement ramps up. If you have IRS issues, contact STL Tax Lawyer Mark Milton at stltaxlawyer.com, and you'll be saying to the IRS, hey, I'm not guilty. I am with Milton. And remember, the choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on adverts.
There it is. Mark Milton, STLTaxLawyer.com. And again, Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. James Carlton was going to be playing in the Lemmings Open a week from tomorrow at Normandy, presented by Michelob Ultra, studio sponsor here of TMA. It's only 95 calories and 2.6 grams of carbs, so it's phenomenal. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. That is Michelob Ultra, but he cannot play now, and so he has given his foursome to the dais to give away for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day today. So that's a $400 or $500 prize. And you think about you're going to get donut drive-in for breakfast, you're going to get potbelly subs for lunch, and you're going to get Uncle Leo's for after golf. Yeah, you got that, and all your golf, and all your beer all day long. You win the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. You get it. So send your emails in the morning after at InsideSTL.com. Design Air is the official HVAC provider of TMA and the Tim McKernan Show podcast. And take a look at this, Doug. Look at the forecast.
What do I look at?
Now, the forecast is glorious, but we do have highs of 95 and 94 degrees next Tuesday and Wednesday. So if you do run into an air conditioning issue, you're going to be dealing with it, even though it is mid-September. So go to designairservice.com and click on the Book Now tab, and you are working with the great Seth Goldcamp and Design Air Heating and Cooling, and they will have a service technician come out there quick, fast, and in a hurry to take care of it for you. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling online at designairservice.com. Doug is a client. I'm a client. Say, friends, why don't you become a client as well? It's Design Air Heating and Cooling. Designairservice.com. Click on the Book Now tab. You're talking with a service tech online, and they're out there quick, fast, in a hurry. Think about it.
Yesterday was the best weather day of the year.
Had to be a lot of tribbing yesterday. Had to be.
It was unbelievable outside. Nice. I went on 2 separate dog walks. Couldn't get enough of being outside. It was amazing.
You're kind of a woodsman.
I wouldn't say woodsman. It's just you got to really utilize and enjoy those days, whether you do a ton outside or not. Man, it was just a treat. It was so perfect. Open the windows. Just amazing.
Huh. Yeah, September's my favorite month of the year.
Hands down.
Yeah. I don't even know what would be in second place for my personal preference.
That's a nice question. That's a nice question. May, a lot of precipitation, but it's got a wide delta, Bill.
Maybe June. It's usually not scorching hot by June.
See, I like April because you got Masties. You
Yeah,
got
but the weather's still kind of brutal.
the weather is brutal, but you kind of
April.
feel that
Doug has always said April's a hand job because you think you're
Without
going to
handles.
really enjoy it, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, just got manual because it's raining and it still can be cold.
But I'm with Plowsy because you know the cold weather's pretty much over, and we're getting
So
back
psychologically, I'm in a great place, but I think I'm going to be out there playing, and it's wet and cold and.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Golf
But
courses aren't
psychologically,
there yet.
even though this is like the best time of the year sports-wise, I prefer April because you got the Masters and you got Stanley Cup playoffs starting up. If you care about college basketball, you got the Final Four, you got baseball starting up, and then you also are like, oh, sweet, the weather's going to be warm, and now the sundresses are out, and now it's going to be scissoring everywhere, at least in the Central Corridor.
Is that the headquarters of Scissoring?
Yeah, Central Court. Yeah,
Really?
It
I think
is.
it's home base.
Yeah, they have an office in Town and Country.
Yeah, that's Central Corridor.
Now, October I like only because I love the leaves changing. It's pretty. And it can be nice, but there's some, I remember some Halloweens that out trick-or-treating, it's
cold.
Yeah, it's warm, but then there's some Halloweens it's cold and some snow.
Yeah. And you know what's coming, too.
So you don't know, but I do like the leaves changing.
October is the perfect camping weather for me. Because it gets really hot and stuffy in a tent. Even
See,
like
you are a woodsman.
I have to say, we got 2 camping trips coming at the end of October, first weekend of November, and
Where
it
you
is the
going?
perfect.
Yeah, where are you going?
We're gonna go to Nashville at the end of October, and the November one, I forgot where we're taking the dogs. I forgot.
You're
Camping in
camping
Nashville?
In Nashville at Grand Ole Opry?
We're taking the. I don't know if we're camping. I think we're doing like a little cabin, just like 15, 20 minutes outside of Nashville proper.
Yeah.
So easy enough to get to town, taking the dogs out there.
Maybe you can camp around Andrew Jackson's home at the Hermitage.
Is that where?
Yeah. About 15 minutes outside of Nashville, if that.
Okay. I'll check that out. We're looking for stuff to do.
Just go a little further southeast, get down to Gatlinburg.
I really do want to get down there. I've heard great things in terms of like the scenery.
It's pretty. Not much to do other than
Maybe you could go to Dollywood.
fudge factories and
Fudge factories. Sick.
Peanut brittle.
Dodge cars.
Taffy pulling.
This will engage the audience here. Doug, the region is leaving at least $14,000 on the table every day, and likely thousands more than that, because St. Louis and St. Louis County leaders won't sign off on moving NFL Rams settlement money to higher yield accounts.
Well, knock me over with a feather.
That's the view of the Regional Convention and Sports Complex Authority, RSA, whose members voted unanimously Wednesday to urge the city and county to park the funds in accounts that pay more while settlement talks still continue. It was the second time since June that the RSA, which owns the Dome and America Center where the Rams once played, made the request to the city and county. St. Louis County, and the RSA have been negotiating behind closed doors for months over how to divide the $514 million received from Stan Kroenke and the NFL to settle the lawsuit over the team's relocation to Los Angeles. In the less than 5 months, the settlement money has sat at an account yielding 1.44%. It's earned $1.5 million in interest. And in the current environment of rising interest rates, some board members believe the money could easily earn at least another 1% in safe investments. The move needs only the approval of Sam Page and Tashara Jones. RSA board members weren't clear why the city and county leaders hadn't approved it yet. Quote, all I can say is what we want to do, Chrissy Nardini, an appointee of Governor Mike Parson, who sponsored the resolution to issue a request for proposals from new fund managers, said when asked why the city and county weren't signing off. Irv Schweitzer, the Greensfelder attorney hired by the RSA to represent it in negotiations with the city and county, told the Post-Dispatch, quote, there have been discussions about moving the money, but declined to comment further. Doug, so there have been discussions.
Yeah.
Dave Spence, another Parson appointee, called the lack of action from city and county paralysis by analysis. He said while the 3 parties finished negotiating how to split the money, they could easily be earning another 2% on it, worth another $28,000 per day. He estimates the lack of action by the city and county has already cost the region $3 million in unrealized gains. I don't care who you are. That's a lot of cheddar, Spence said. That pays a lot of bills. It would pay for overtime to get the trash off of city streets. The mayor and county executive each get 3 appointments to the commission, and those appointments join with the governor's picks to urge the city and county to quickly move the money. It's just common sense, said board chairman Earl Nance, a city appointee. We should have been doing this. Page spokesman Doug Moore said in a statement that we, quote, expect to have an agreement soon on a higher-yielding investment account. Quote, we may have a disagreement about the risk we should take in uncertain economic conditions, Moore added. In a statement to Shar Jones spokesman Doug, do you say Desideri?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Said the city hopes, quote, to reach an agreement that will yield a high-interest investment while providing flexibility when negotiations are complete. The settlement was only put into an interest-bearing account in late April, and it was unclear if it had earned any interest in the nearly 5 previous months. There you go.
Couldn't you solve all this by just letting Mark Hanna handle that money?
Yes, I think Mark should be called in.
It's all pretty unbelievable. In one hand, it's shocking. On the other hand, it's not surprising at all, right?
It was quite predictable when the settlement was agreed to.
You have to get a committee together and pay lawyers to decide whether we should make some more money.
I guess
these
the problem
people are
is,
just so dumb.
Well, the stock market has been really rough lately. So
Doug, volatile's the word you were using?
Yes. So they're really leery about putting anything in the stock market and losing a big chunk of that. And then imagine how people would react.
Well, they went 3 or 4 months with putting it nowhere.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense either. I don't know. Yeah, Mark Hanna would be the one to talk to. I don't know how big a percentage you could get before you start risking your money. You know, what kind of guaranteed gains that you can get, what the percentage is. It's pretty low. Even if they're complaining now, they're thinking it'd be nice to get 2%, right? 2.5%. That's pretty low return. But if the money's safe, I think that's probably what you have to do as a city.
The city's just going to put all that into Bitcoin. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. Like, nothing will surprise me with this money. I'd be shocked if we see, like, actual improvements of the city or county with it. I just
if anything happens at all, I'd be shocked. If all of a sudden a year from now we say, whatever happened to that settlement money? I don't know. Didn't use it.
3 months from now, we've decided to put $3 million into the Tam Avenue Capital Partners.
As they should. That would be a wise investment. We are killing it.
Well, if you're talking about $28,000 a day, maybe you don't spend any of the principal and just spend the investment returns.
Well, yeah, you have almost $500 million. Just decide what you're going to do with it and leave it in there where you're making $28,000 a day. You're not losing any money, but aren't you going to use that money for something?
You would think.
You would think. So just decide what you're going to use it for and just leave it in the bank. Collect your $28,000 a day. What are you worried about? We might make more than that if we put it somewhere. Don't worry about investing it. Fix the city. That's what it's for. Or just give everybody in the city $1,000. Just do that.
That would be funny if that went there.
Yeah, that wouldn't fix anything.
Well, we'll put it. Well, they're not going to fix anything either. It's just sitting there. It'll go to waste. Yeah, give everybody $1,000. At least they can pay some bills or something. They'll put it to use. You won't.
Well, at least there are a lot of potential projects in the near future in St. Louis. At least it looks like they're trying to funnel some money into, North City and Riverfront. And I respect that. If it's going to happen, I have no idea.
Those are individual developers.
No, I get that. I get that. But at least somebody is trying, is my point. Yeah. If this money doesn't go to the city and the county, I have no idea what's going to happen to it. At least people in the city are trying to develop it.
Guys, Uncle Stan has to be laughing at this show. That is city and county arguing about settlement funds. They could literally get free money in a high-yield account, and they're pissing that away. If that isn't St. Louis to a T, I don't know what is. What a joke. Doug, can you bring the story up on your sportscast tonight during your live?
There won't be one from me, anyway. There won't be one.
Frank, how are you today?
Hate to hear that voice.
I think we could extend the loop trolley to Clayton with a mere $300 million. Thanks. That's from Mr. Big Cream. St. Louis guy who thinks we're New York or Chicago will keep voting for these same morons, and we'll keep crapping the bed. This town sucks. That's from
Nippenhole.
Yes.
They do keep voting for the same people.
As a public entity, they can't invest those dollars in the market, but they could certainly leverage higher CDs, bonds. Yeah. Doug, no one is talking about putting it in the market. You can get over 2% easy in treasuries. Just get it done. As Dave Peacock said, paralysis by analysis. That's from the 3 and 4. I think it was Dave Spence who said it.
And somebody else said that before him. That's not
the original statement.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
No, sure.
So we stole it from somebody else.
Speaking of wasting funds, I'd like to request a Pepper and Genie episode where Plowsy breaks down these $1,000 24-hour poker sessions at the Devers Boys Barn where farm boys put up bags of weed, school loans, and pink slips as collateral for chips, which ultimately culminated in Lucky Winner being awarded a corn dog from Breakfast John's in Canton. Thanks, that's from Gunter. I don't understand what was wrong with yesterday's podcast. We took your criticism, Iggy, talking too much to heart, and decided to have Iggy dominate the show. There's just no pleasing you people. That's from Timmy Recaps.
Nice. And those are like 3 separate stories, and it's Dever, not Deaver. And, like, it wasn't my money. I mean, it was other people's money thrown around. He's got a little donut shop up there? What donut shop?
Yeah. He said he got breakfast from somewhere, didn't he?
No, it was like, it used to be a breakfast inside a Kmart.
Oh, that sounds classy.
Very classy.
Guys, why is Grandpa Sweet Potato giving financial advice?
I'm not
That's
giving
from
advice.
Starfish Street.
I'm saying they're doing nothing with it. I didn't tell them how to spend it.
What was it? Ashy sweet potato?
Yes. I didn't like that.
No, and I bought a sweet potato yesterday at Schnucks for some reason.
Was it?
It was like I was drawn to the sweet potato.
Because of the text.
I think I will get a sweet potato.
Dude, cook it in an air fryer, bro.
Good morning. I'm an advisor at a Clayton firm, and for $7, I could get that $500 million into a money market fund that yields 2.4% with 2 mouse clicks. And the quote flexibility issue is total BS. The money's very liquid and would be available to transfer out in 3 days or 1 day if they paid an extra $25 wire fee. It's outrageous how poorly they've handled this. This is from South City Otis.
I love how they said that they discussed this exact conversation in June.
That's correct. I when I read it, I'm like, I remember reading something like this with Dave Spence saying they're missing opportunities. And now with interest rates as high as they are, and they will be higher, I would imagine, starting September 21st when the Fed has their announcement, that you're just leaving ridiculous amounts of money on the table.
And when they do things like this, it only leads to speculation that maybe they're doing something. Maybe they don't have all that money anymore.
I don't think
Maybe
that.
something's
I'm sure
happened
some
to the
people
money.
think that. I just think it's incompetence. But
yeah.
I don't know how you could be that incompetent. I mean, that's that's third grade incompetence. Yeah, that's grade school kid who doesn't understand anything at all about financial markets incompetence. I mean, anybody with a checking account as a little kid has been told that you get a little bit of interest if you just put the money in the bank.
It's like a kid on Christmas when you're a little kid and you get a brand new red fire truck. You're afraid to use it because you don't want it to get dirty. You don't want to scratch it up. They're afraid to do anything.
Just pleasance?
So they're just letting it sit there. If we do it like this and it fails, we're going to leave it there.
This is interesting, and I haven't heard anybody bring this up. They should invest that Rams money in the refurbished Sibian industry that seems to be thriving. That's from the 817. I think that could be a nice...
Wouldn't it be funny if they bought blacked raw? That's like their business model now is just porn.
Guys, I'm just guessing they're going to invest the money in Pocket Tube. That's from Manupo eligible. I wouldn't. I think you could probably get that at a pretty good price right now.
Probably could.
Well, I saw that somebody found their Twitter account and they haven't tweeted since 2015. So
I found it. It was somehow, I don't know, somebody retweeted it or whatever, and I saw it. I'm like, oh, there it is. Guys, Iggy's story of receiving oral and the giver telling her husband, this is so good, you should try it, was the highlight of the episode.
That was said?
That the detail you're talking about going into?
Yeah, I think
so she was inviting her husband to sassify you?
I don't think that's what she meant. She misspoke, but I kind of perked up a little bit. So, wait a minute, what's going on here?
Well, and there was a story to where it was an evening in the hot tub, and a gal wandered over there. So very sporting females.
Is that right?
Hedo.
Well, and I think in that I said I think it was a girl.
Yeah, he wasn't. He said
I just saw from the neck up.
No, you weren't sure.
She kind of swam over and just started going to town, and then she swam away when I was done. I couldn't pick her out the next day. If you put 100 people in front of me, I couldn't pick out who it was.
Because you were drunk?
No, it was dark, and she didn't stand up. But it looked like a girl. I was just hoping it was.
In the air, left field, and gone.
That means you're not sure, and you don't care.
Well, a mouth's a mouth.
Doug, is a mouth if you can feel the whiskers of my beard upon you?
I mean, I don't mind the touch of a gentleman.
See there?
That was out of context. I didn't I didn't feel any whiskers. But I didn't see a body, so I don't know.
So you're 90% sure it was a lady?
Yeah, 99.
Nice. Tim or Iggy, did you see Kylie Rocket on Plug Talk? Doug, you know, Lena the Plug's podcast. She's got a girl next door look. Curious on your thoughts on her being into thruples and old men. Maybe Iggy should shoot his shot. Thanks. That's from Josh, Bob, Bill, and Doug. As you know, he lives in Tampa in Keisha Gray's building.
I didn't realize he'd lived there.
Yeah.
You might be familiar with it. I don't know who Kylie
I am
Rocket
familiar with Kylie Rocket, and she's she's a girl next door. That would be a nice if she's a beautiful, just kind of a naturally beautiful lass. But I have not seen the podcast. I maybe I should listen to Lena the Plug's podcast.
Lena.
Doug, Lena the Plug.
Is she a porn star? What?
Yeah, she was. She's married to Adam 22 now.
Doug, she's married to Adam 22.
Adam, like we're supposed to know who Adam 22?
I have to say,
Remember
male
Adam
porn
12?
stars have lost a lot of respect in terms of their names. They don't name each other like there's no.
Doug, do you respect the adult stars less because of their naming?
No.
I mean, the females have some rock star names, and
like Kylie Rocket.
I love that. The Plug. I mean,
oh.
Let's see, touchy subject with Lena the Plug. Is that what we're looking for? Oh, she got Maitland on yesterday.
The Plug podcast, Doug.
If she's on with the Plug, I'll get her soon.
This is a guy who calls himself the Plug?
Lena the Plug.
Oh.
She's a female.
See, she's going on with porn stars. I mean, what are you going to do? I can't compete and get them on.
So you're not going to get Maitland on?
I'll get her on. But these porn stars aren't working through anybody. They're calling them on her own because they were all in the industry. I'm guaranteed Lisa Ann didn't go through Brian Gross or Art Sears.
Yeah, you go through Gross or
She
Sears.
she probably either called Maitland or called Caden, one of the two.
Who
She's
is
got it in
Brian
there.
Gross? Why is he chirping?
Well, he's with the AVN, and he's supposedly handling all of her stuff. He's the one that made her available.
Oh.
I don't see her. I don't see the interview.
Art Sears.
I guess he's handling some of her stuff now too.
What's the name of the podcast, Josh, Bob, Bill, who lives with Keisha Gray?
Plug Talk.
Oh.
Plug Talk?
Yeah.
Thank you, Jackson.
Jeepers.
What, are we running out of names for podcasts?
Well, that one's not going to get taken.
We have to run out of names. What, there's 8 billion podcasts out there now?
All of them are making huge dollars.
Yeah.
Plug Talk Radio. Jackson, the one I pulled up, there hasn't been an episode since March 2019.
I was just going off Josh, Bob, Bill's
Maybe he was
text.
kidding, because everybody seems to be getting Maitland Ward except for me.
Yeah, but this was Kylie Rocket he's talking about.
Yeah, and it's Plug Talk.
I don't need
Doug,
to
is it
talk
Plug
about
Talk? Have you
Plug.
listened to it?
No.
I'm just listening to Keith Hernandez's book.
It's
Great
on
book.
YouTube, it seems. And I'm looking for Kylie Rocket.
But the actual podcast isn't up?
I don't know.
Maybe they're like charging to watch it. Maybe they're on the app.
Yeah, that could be. Lena the Plug. She's probably savvy.
Tim, can we discuss the Tums camera they have at the Cardinal game? I was there last night, and they literally put the camera on every fat while they're stuffing their face. It is so cringy. That's from the 314.
Just a block away from the Tums factory where they
So what? When they find a heavy person eating, they put a camera
Wow,
on?
I
It's
need
not
to go
hard
to
to
more
find.
games. I need to go to more games now.
It's
I didn't
not-
know about this camera.
Look in any direction, you'll see it.
That's so good. That's a great idea on Busch Stadium's part, though.
Is anybody complaining about fat shaming?
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't know that you could do this in 2022.
At some point, somebody's going
Are
to
these people mad that they are identified as a heavier person shoving food down their mouth?
God, there was a lot of it.
Yeah, why don't you show the skinny girls eating a Triscuit?
How about a hot dog and fries yesterday for my son? It was $17.50.
But good.
Hot dog and fry.
But good?
It probably cost him $2.
$17.50.
I wonder what the margin is on that. You look like 20 cents or something?
Probably 20 cents worth of materials.
They're losing money.
They're losing money.
It's charity.
But for the fans, you know.
Right.
Got the money.
Exactly.
Yeah, they roll in the money there.
I mean, you can go to the store, and I think they use ballpark franks. So ballpark franks are like $5.99 for 8, and that's overpriced at a store. So probably cut that in half. They're making
when you're buying thousands of them.
They're making 99% profit on every hot dog they sell.
The move is the outside of the stadium hot dogs and waters, man. Because you can take the waters in if you don't open them, and the hot dog you can shove down your gullet while you're walking.
You can take the hot dog in there.
Can you? Okay.
Yeah.
That's a $4 hot dog.
There can't be a better scam.
And a $3 water.
Bottled water's the biggest scam going in the world.
100. It should be free. I don't get why they charge $3 or $4.
$8.
It's
at
amazing.
Stadium.
Well, the audience isn't happy with us in the engineer design facilities text inbox. Guys, the Ashy Yam will get Maitland on just as soon as he finishes his manuscript and Plowsy runs his mile. Why do you keep saying, that's from the Austin Oligarch, why do you keep saying you're getting all these people on the show when you've never gotten anyone on the show? Stop lying, you burnt lobster. That's from Harrison's brother, Master. The Tums Cam is literally a food segment, and yes, it's exclusively fats being shown.
That's amazing.
This is cutting edge.
That's crazy.
Well, first they had the hat that came out. It looked like somebody was getting stuck up at gunpoint.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And now you're fat-shaming people eating hot dogs for the Tums thing? I mean, come on,
It's
man.
literally a dude getting on his knees, pointing a gun at a guy.
I mean, I thought for sure they'd scrap that if they took a closer look at it, but no, it came out. Now I want one.
Well, I think the Tums bit is they're just trying to show if you eat too much, you might need Tums. You got a tummy ache, you're going to need Tums.
That's true, but if you're showing all fat people, if you're showing all walruses, there's
I
skinny
don't know
people there.
I don't know if
They don't. It's not all fat people they're showing.
Yeah, I think we're.
It just happens that a lot of the people there are fat. Like, there's no way.
I mean, what you need to do is
Jackson, say that on Balloon Party, and I'll just sit back and read text for an hour.
Right.
Wait until you have a fairly heavy-set woman eating something, and they show that.
So they only show fat guys?
You will get bombed in your comment section, wherever that is.
They don't have a comment
There's no it's just on the video board.
Well, somebody will post something on Cardinal board. And then
If you're looking around for people that are eating a lot, chances are that person is going to be a little overweight. Chances are, not always.
Well, everyone has to eat. Like, it's not ridiculous for someone to be eating at a Cardinal game.
I get that too. And just find the helmet nacho stand and just follow one of those people. They're gonna get it on their face. They're gonna get it on their Cardinal giveaway jersey. They're gonna be sharing it with like 4 other people.
Well, I'm not fat. When I would be in the press box, I could eat 3 hot dogs.
Nice.
Oh, I pound food at stadiums.
Yeah, so you can find not overweight people eating.
Well, they may. I doubt every.
Look, I haven't seen a game all year. I don't even know what you're talking
They do.
about. So.
I was at the game on Tuesday. They show other fat people.
Every person is fat?
No, not every person is fat.
They showed every fat person.
No, they show everybody. Like, it's not necessarily all fat people. Like I said, there's just a lot of fat people there.
I'm asking this question seriously because of this day and age we're in. Do they ever show gay people on the kiss cam?
Doug?
I don't know.
Keep a log. I don't know. I don't know. I assume it's like you can't really like assume that someone's either together. The kiss cam itself is like a big assumption, you know.
It is true. They don't really ask.
I guess it's not confirmed in advance. Most
Right.
people are feigning surprise.
Right. Like if someone's next to their sister, they have no idea if that's their sister or their girlfriend. They put that on there. It's like awkward when they don't kiss, but
all of them kiss, so it's almost like I think that they go to people ahead of time and. All right, today we're going to do section 322. Go see if they're okay with this. I mean, if you did it and you just went to a bunch of people that were brother, sister, cousins, friends that aren't dating, they could just be panning the crowd and nobody's kissing.
Well, they are. And
everybody kisses.
And sometimes they land on 2 people that aren't on a date or married or something, and the people give a funny look like, no way, I'm doing it. And the crowd gets a big laugh out of it.
I think my main problem with like the ballpark food is they're not like. There's not enough like candy or actual snacks.
Candy.
Well, you can get your typical.
You can bring that in, can't you?
Sure.
Yeah, but I mean, if you forget about it, that you can get your popcorn and your pretzels and hot dogs and brats, and I get that stuff, hamburgers, but there's that little market, but they don't really sell too much of like a bag of chips or like some sour Skittles or. Hostesses or things like that. I think that would be a good game changer to sell. You can upcharge those like crazy.
Well, maybe they will someday.
And not everybody wants a greasy hot dog or burger.
No,
when they sit down.
Well, they let people bring bags of food in.
I've seen bags of grapes for kids.
People are probably bringing in snacks for the kids, so we don't need to sell that.
Susie Cream Cheese says everybody kisses. And then 2 minutes later he said, I haven't been to a game all year. Jesus, that's from Susie Cream Cheese.
Well, when I would see it on TV or I'd be at the game, there's never anybody that says, not me, not me. They all kiss, which tends to make me think that they get these people in advance so they're not just panning around and nobody's kissing.
But not everybody kisses. I've seen multiple times where people
99% of the time people kiss.
They usually kiss, but not always. And the crowd gets a big laugh out of it when they go, no way am I kissing this person.
It's kind of a dumb thing, to be honest with you.
Oh, people enjoy it. It's just a fun little thing between innings. It's okay, isn't it?
All right. How about a foreplay cam?
Now you're talking.
What, with heavy petting?
Could just go to it and the guy grabs a boob or...
Okay, mister.
She rubs his pants.
I think a camera right after you walk out of the bathroom. Because, sometimes you're still not done.
Yeah, hands are wet.
I mean, if it's on cable, take a chance.
I feel so bad when I come out of a bathroom, just wash my hands, and I see somebody and shake their hands.
And it's all
hand's wet.
slimy.
My hand's wet.
Maybe they want your brine.
I don't think so. It's not brine. It's because I wash my hands.
That's when you fist bump.
I just feel awful.
Or just cheek kiss.
Guys, the FS1 broadcast last night showed a guy licking his home plate-shaped nacho platter clean, and the guys on the broadcast started laughing.
I mean, that camera is clearly not going to last.
Dude, those home plate nachos are no joke. They're huge.
They are. How many calories do you think are in one of those?
Home plate nacho? I've never heard of this.
It's like, it looks like the plate is home plate, and they're pretty. I'd put them up there with a helmet nacho in terms of mere chips and meat.
I'm looking.
Sauce.
It seems like the helmet would hold the chips in place a little bit better.
I would agree with that, Doug, 100%.
And not fall off the plate proper.
They're no joke. So if you're finishing one and licking it clean, you went to work.
I went to get
God bless.
Went to get ice cream the other day at the Andes, and one of the sundaes was 1,740 calories.
Ooh, good value.
For one treat.
A lot of protein, though.
Gosh.
How much did that cost?
Oh, like $8 or $9. 1,700 calories for dessert.
You'd have to get the largest one, though, right? It's not like...
That was the large one, yeah.
This is interesting. They put my stepdad Jack and I on the kiss cam at the St. Louis River Riders game, and he asked me to kiss him where it smells funny.
Oh!
They gave us 10 gift certificates to Ponderosa for our trouble.
10 of them.
To Mrs. Jenny Shanahan.
Dude, look at that home plate.
Oh, that looks nice.
Is that good eating?
Oh, my God. Look at this, Doug. Look at
the helmet. Oh, my God. It looks like someone's brain's in there. Oh.
That is insane huge.
Does it give a calorie count? Probably not.
We looked up one, but I don't think it's accurate, and they don't. And not on the Cardinal website. Yeah. I don't think that's what they. Like
I guess it might make sense if that were for a family of 4, but not for one person.
Yeah, when you see a dude flying solo mission on a helmet nacho or something, that
he's packing a lunch.
I mean, he hasn't eaten in 8 hours.
Yeah,
you can just tell.
He's laying down a good wide base.
Send your emails in. Keep in mind, James Carlton is giving back his foursome. He can't play next Friday. The Lemmings Open, presented by Michelob Ultra. Michelob Ultra, studio sponsor here on TMA. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Send your emails in for our design, air, heating, and cooling email of the day. The morning after at InsideSTL.com. And you're getting a, I guess, $400+ prize for today's email of the day, presented by Design Air Heating and Cooling. And don't forget, Uncle Leo's Friday night is pizza night. This week through Sunday, buy one pizza, get one 50% off at Uncle Leo's. That's right. Buy one pizza, you get 50% off your next one at Uncle Leo's. The Miners Boys, delicious pizza. And this shirt, Jackson, it's selling like hotcakes here in the Mungenast 7 o'clock hour. The Veiled Prophets design, the This Is Brutal is in white. It is in black, and everything at TMASTLshop.com is 10% off this week. Interestingly enough, it looks like the white one is moving more.
That's the one I like.
That one surprised me.
So there it is. This is Brutal. The design sent in as a tribute to the Colonel. He was just having audio issues, but it ties into what was a 40-6 loss. This show does not recognize the touchdown that was scored after the timeout was called with 5 seconds. Oh. And I believe the SEC doesn't recognize it either. So the final score is 46. There it is. And now it's a T-shirt. And it has Drink One on the license plate and a little dumpster fire in the back of the truck. Plowhawk, you got to be so happy to see what's...
I like the white. I'm surprised. I thought I would like the black. They're both slick as hell.
We're efforting hoodies in these, too.
Oh, oh my gosh. I would do a white hoodie right now in a second.
You know what that shirt could use? Is a little sound chip on it that you press and it says, "This is brutal."
The Colonel.
Yes. Like a toy that...
Like a string in the back of a doll?
Yeah, but they have chips. You just touch them and they'll
well, I'd like to request to piss everybody off, just like the podcast. When you go to the
it's the Plowboys
TMA STL store, can you make sure the Pepper and Genie shirt is the first thing you see?
This is brutal shirt is the first thing you see.
Well,
Doesn't sound like Jackson really entertained that proposals.
Well, we have a brand new shirt. Like, we want to put that up front.
Yeah, just to upset people.
I think the Pepper and Genie one, like
But
the
it might
newer
affect the bottom
version.
line.
I like the new font, and you put podcast up. Like, it's sweet. That new version of it is sweet.
The new Pepper and Genie?
Yeah. I think it's different lettering, and they added podcast underneath it, if I'm not mistaken.
That was always on there.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I don't think they did anything with it. Just
It's not on the front. I'll tell you this, Iggy. It's not on the front page of the site. Unless I'm seeing something different, Jackson. I don't know.
This
The
is
hoodie
brutal shirt?
is.
The hoodie is awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see that white or black This Is Brutal hoodies.
Oh.
That's a perfect gift for the holidays, Doug.
Yeah, this is brutal.
Speaking of Andes, anytime we are over in the St. Peter's region proper, per Tim's recommendation, the wife always gets the Andes jackhammer, and the wife loves it. Because of Tim, she is always satisfied with it. Thanks, Tim. That's from Scott's Wrinkled Ballsack.
oh, something's happening here.
What do you think's happening? What do you think is happening?
I don't know. Now he's throwing jackhammer in there.
St. Peter's is a long way from the peninsula.
Yeah, I don't get out to St. Peter's as much as I'd like.
You say every time we're in St. Peter's?
Yeah, I don't know.
How do you get there often?
So they go from the peninsula to St. Peter's to get
it's got
frozen
to be
custard.
Yeah, just to get the jackhammer.
She must really want that jackhammer.
Yeah. There's got to be an Andy somewhere closer than that.
I would think. Put one on the peninsula.
Well, sure.
What is an Andy's ice cream?
Frozen custard, right?
Yeah, there's one in Kirkland.
It is the bee's knees.
That's the one I go to.
Doug, check this out. How about that key lime pie crust concrete? Oh,
I haven't
Bill.
had that one.
Oh,
Sounds
you'll
good.
like it. It is choice.
That's what I got the last time.
Oh, is that right? Yeah. It's choice. Woof. Woof.
I love a good key lime pie.
Yeah, I do too.
So you have a key lime pie Chobani flip in the fridge.
There.
No.
Have you?
I do.
Huh, maybe you'll eat that in the second hour.
Marie Callender's makes a good key lime pie.
Marie Callender?
Yeah, I love Marie Callender. Although her frozen meals have ripped me apart.
Yeah, isn't that what caused the bomb to go off in the studio?
And then, I proceeded to sit the
Chicken
entire balloon
Alfredo.
party in the stall. And
You gave us a Dutch
I
oven.
listened to the entire balloon party episode while in one of those stalls just waiting. Good episode.
Guys, the Pepper and Genie shirt is great. The podcast is horrid. Thanks. That's from the Loomster.
I think they're both great.
And I saw that comment. He had a similar comment when the shirts were posted on the fan page, and that's accurate. You can like the shirt and hate the podcast.
Can you?
You can support.
I'm a fan of both. I'm like
Yeah.
Jackson. I truly am a Pepper and Genie fan. It puts me in a good place when I'm driving and I'm enjoying Pepper and Genie. There's something about it.
Oh, really?
There's something about that podcast.
The confidence that we have on the mic.
Yeah. This professionalism in the business.
It just kind of feels like you're on a smoke break with Iggy and Plazzi.
Yeah,
You're the third person there, just hanging out with the
It's
boys.
one of those completely tune it outs, but you can
Yeah.
still listen to it halfway.
You can
Fold
almost-
laundry.
You can almost smell the nicotine.
We'll get ready today, Plazzi.
What do we got?
I came up with an idea. You know how we talk about who's the first lady to have a baby?
Right. That was
Oh,
a
I
great
love
that was a two-parter.
Today we're going to do a list of first. We're going to ask questions about what's the first thing. When did this happen first? When did this happen first?
Nice.
When did this happen?
And we could easily Google these, but we're not.
Genesis Pod.
You're just going to reason it out.
Genesis pod.
I love that idea, Iggs.
We're just going to throw out questions. When was the first time this happened?
Outstanding.
And I've been poking the bear in terms of like how I name the podcast and some of like the little notes. I think I've been doing a pretty good job. No need to pat myself on the back of that. Just to intrigue the people who, complain maybe about it being on the top of their podcast feed.
Right.
So I try to make it eye-popping.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Look
You're knocking it out of the park, Chief.
Yeah. Thank you, Jay.
Doug, you like that? You're knocking it out of the park, Chief.
What kind of titles are you talking about?
I don't know. Just random stuff. Kind of eye-popping. Oh, Hedo. Stories from Hedo.
Oh, that is nice.
Well, you got to go to the app and look at the podcast.
I haven't done that.
I know.
Well, I do the show with you. I don't need to listen to it. I know what we say. Well, I forgot today what we talked about yesterday. But
Maybe a re-listen would be a nice refresher course.
I don't think I want to re-listen.
No, I don't. I don't think I've ever listened to a show that I've been part of.
Oh, there have been segments here that I've listened back to, like some really gold segments.
I don't think I ever have. I never listened to an episode. I don't think of Kegler's Corner replayed.
I listened to the Tuna Fish Vaughn email segment at least 150 times.
You used to cut best ofs, though.
You were the best of guy.
Well, I mean, when I'm working and had to do it, yeah, but I don't just sit at home. Yeah. How do we sound today? No, I don't do that.
No. Oh, the best ofs are great. I edited a bunch of them, and like going back, you feel like you're back in that segment when you're listening to
Well, you work at them because you don't want to get fired by just pulling recent ones up.
Yes.
You kind of go back a little bit.
Yeah, we've had that.
Well, that did unfortunately happen, Doug. You're right. March of 2019, a sudden termination.
That was a
just
shocker.
via email, too.
From the fan page. Right?
And it was just
like
a
somebody from the
joke.
fan page like commented on it, and all of a sudden, boom, I'm fired. Well, what?
Yeah, I do blame that person.
Not
These self-furloughs can happen at any moment.
Not even the end of the show.
No.
I still got emails.
Right.
You can get involved on this program, 314-881-TMA5. That is how you can text in to our Engineer Design Facilities text inbox. And you can, of course, email in. James Carlton is giving his foursome for the Lemmings Open away for the email of the day. Send them in the morning after at InsideSTL.com. Somebody's going to win a foursome to the Lemmings Open, courtesy of James Carlton, coming up at 9:45. The This Is Brutal t-shirt, along with a bunch of other great new designs this week. 3 or 4 new designs this week at TMASTLshop.com. 10% off everything as we launch new merch, ideally every day. I don't know if we can keep the streak going, but we have people sending in their designs on a regular basis. You can send your designs in for anything, man. And then I just, Doug, I'll Venmo you or I'll Zelle you $100, just like that. T. McKernan at InsideSTL.com. On the other side of the break, we might have tension between 2 members of the dais because of something that took place on KC 95 yesterday on Learn's show. We will have the audio of that in a matter of moments. You won't want to miss it. This is the Ryan Kelly Morning After. We close out the Mungenast St. Louis Acura Alton Toyota 7 o'clock hour and get ready for the Appliance Discounters 8 o'clock hour from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
Join the Ryan Kelly Morning After, September 22nd at Maggie O'Brien's in Sunset Hills for the night before the sold-out Lemmings Open pre-party. It's a night of TMA Live from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Join your TMA favorites as the guys host a wing-eating contest, trivia, and plenty of games. Get $16 domestic bucket specials, and don't miss their house specialty Reuben rolls. It's a free event brought to you by Mick Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. And Mungenast Acura and Toyota, better than ever for you, their customer. Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
Hey, it's Jackson for Rosalita's. TMA listeners know that Rosalita's Cantina has the best patio and the best Tex-Mex in town. From tableside guac to piled high nachos, the amazing menu at Rosalita's is full of classic Mexican dishes. Plus, it's always time for a margarita, and Rosalita's has the most delicious house and specialty margs in town. Enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 7, and let Rosalita's cater your next event. Check out rosalitascantina.com or visit the downtown or DePere location today. Time to get your fiesta on at Rosalita's.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan. I'm here with Ryan Kelly, the HomeLoanExpert.com, and we got 2 local companies coming together.
That's right. You know, we're asked quite a bit, Tam, like, hey, who should I use for a mover? We're like, I don't know, use Google, go find a good mover. But we wanted to do better for our clients. We wanted to put a partnership together. So we researched all the movers. Guess who was the best? 2 Men and a Truck.
Oh.
We love this partnership with 2 Men and a Truck. When you close on your home loan at thehomeloanexpert.com, we will give you a $500 credit towards your moving expenses using 2 Men and a Truck. That's a winner right there. Visit thehomeloanexpert.com.
The Classic Car Show and Concert, September 25th at the Factory in Chesterfield, with performances by Jackal
When will it rain? I feel the heat burning through my shoes.
and Stephen Piercy from Rat. Tickets for the concert on sale now. Got a classic car you want to show off? Vehicle registration is open now. The Classic Car Show and Concert, a day of fun for the family and a night of rock.
Find out how to get tickets at thefactorystl.com.
You can get an insurance quote anywhere. Ask yourself, what is my provider doing for me? Do I have to hit prompts? Do I have to deal with chatbots? Am I put on hold? Is it always a different person? Are they local? Are they proactive in the community? Do they represent the #1 provider of auto and home insurance in the U.S.? The James Carlton State Farm team is comprised of individuals right here in your neighborhood. We are out supporting our Blues, Cardinals, Bills, and Tigers. Do something new in 22 and kick the out-of-town companies to the curb. Give us a call or go online to carltoninsurance.net. If your insurance costs a leg and an arm, call James Carlton, State Farm.
This is Tim McKernan. I'd like to tell you about a company I started just a couple of years ago and I still own. And it's called Sound Story. It's essentially a 1-hour interview that we do either in person or via Zoom with mothers, fathers, grandmothers, grandfathers. They come in and they tell their stories, education, growing up, and of course, family stories, the wisdom that they can share with their loved ones for generations to come. It's an audio heirloom. It's Sound Story. To learn more, go to mysoundstory.com.
Bertarelli Cutlery is the gold standard when it comes to having your knives sharpened. Locally owned and operated family business on the hill, where you can not only get knives sharpened, you can get those nitro gloves. Price of gloves has skyrocketed over the years. The need and demand for the gloves is back in a big way. Bertarelli has purchased truckloads of these gloves, and they buy in bulk and then pass the savings along to you. You'll also appreciate Bertarelli for their ability to sharpen up your tools. Chainsaw, axe, knife, lawnmower blades, you name it, they will sharpen it up. Bertarelli Cutlery, 1927 Marconi Avenue on the Hill. The website is bertarellico.com.
There's a lot of common sense in Western wisdom, like don't squat with your spurs on and always drink upstream from the herd. And there's also some Western wisdom that's less common, like never steal from a bear or what you can't make for yourself, or a man doesn't know his worth until he's eye to eye with a rattlesnake holding a toad. I'm sure there's a good lesson in there somewhere, but there's one lesson that's perfectly clear. Fistful of Bourbon is an award-winning blend of 5 straight bourbons and is smooth as a banker on Friday. Get wise, pick a bottle today. Don't be a damn fool. Please enjoy responsibly. Imported by William Grant & Sons, New York, New York.
Okay. Hot takes.
Yeah.
Pepper and Genie. Pepper and Genie.
And now the Pepper and Genie Show with Darren Atkins and Ken Stroh. All right, take it, fellas.
There it is. That's the open.
Pepper and Genie.
Pepper and Genie.
Pepper and Genie. Pepper and Genie. Pepper and Genie. Pepper and Genie. Pepper and Genie. Pepper and Genie. We don't know what it is. We don't understand the name. We just know it's stupid. And it's available every weekday, featuring Iggy and the Plowboy. Apparently it's some kind of a podcast or something. Available at tmastl.com and on the TMASTL mobile app. Whatever.
The Ryan Kelly Morning After.
On KPNT HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis.
Cardinals are coming. Tra-la-la-la-la-la. The Cardinals are coming. Tra-la-tra-la.
Bah.
The Cubbies are going. Tra-la-tra-la.
Bah.
Down on the Mets. Tra-la-tra-la.
Bah.
The Cardinals are coming. Tra-la-tra-la. The Cubbies are saying the flags in the bag. The Cardinals are winning. It's too soon to brag. But when it's all over and October's here, the Cardinals will win it. 'Cause this is our year. Look out, because we're swinging our clubs. Beware your bets, don't make any bets. We're drinking a beer, 'cause this is the year. The Cardinals are coming. Tra-la-la-la-la-la.
Oh, you like that, Doug.
Is this Ron Burgundy?
It is Ron Burgundy's Jazz Flute. It's Ryan Kelly Morning After. Appliance Discounters, 8 o'clock hour. Appliance Discounters, your hometown appliance source featuring major brands like GE. Timothy Michael McKernan, Douglas Elvin Vaughn, the Plowhawk and Action Jackson with you on the program. Iggy is only doing 1 hour today.
Yeah, he's out. He's out.
He renegotiated the contract.
Yeah, he was in a renegotiation yesterday. So
He forgot his cigarettes, though. See them here on the table.
Keys and phone. So this audio from KC95 will have to wait because I think it's important to have Iggy in here when we play it. You can send your emails in because today here on the Ryan Kelly Morning After, the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email of the day gets a foursome to the Lemmings Open, courtesy of James Carlton. He was going to play, but now he can't play, so he said, I'll give it away for the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email of the day, and that's what the winner today gets. So this is a big prize. I'll make sure I allocate enough time for a thorough vetting of our emails. Jackson, will you open up the filtered file to more participants today, or will you still, monitor it closely so as to not lose any station's FCC licenses?
Well, a mix of both. I'm never going to let something go.
Adam from Lima is a tough one for you every day.
He's cleaned it up. As of recent. There used to be like 1 or 2 lines that you just absolutely cannot say on the air. And I'm not going to put Tim in that tough spot where he has to edit on the fly as much as I can. Sometimes, you get lost in it, but
you get caught up in the excitement of the email.
Yeah, what I would say is double spacing the emails helps.
Oh wow!
Just
That's
visually,
a nice
it's
tip
easy
for the emailers.
It's just easier for me to skim through it if you double space or like 1.5 space. It's just like some people send tiny font, with no spacing, and it's just
Then
really
block
hard to
'em.
see. No, I'm not gonna block.
Block him.
I don't wanna. But yeah, so I'll be very thorough in the vetting, but I'll also, if we have plenty of time, then we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have to cut out emails just for time's sake.
Yeah, it's bad hosting.
Well, I mean, we got to show it. If we didn't have a show, a one-on-one that literally goes on like 2 minutes after our show, that'd be a different story.
Send them in the morning after at InsideSTL.com. And also, don't forget Uncle Leo's Friday night is pizza night. Buy one pizza, get 50% off your next pizza. That is now through Sunday. Uncle Leo's Friday night is pizza night here on TMA. Get involved in the show by texting in 314-881-TMA5, Engineered Design Facilities. Text inbox, that's EDF, Engineered Design Facilities. Text inbox. Call into the Steve Schmidt Kia of North County phone lines, 636-9004 TMA. Lines are full right now with bi-curious females, and we will get to them momentarily. But first, Jackson made an appearance yesterday on KC95 with Learn.
Oh, that's what it is. I had no idea. I thought you were talking about maybe because I know Learn, I saw on her Instagram, she was on the morning show at The Rock with you, man, and AD yesterday morning, and I didn't even see her. So I thought maybe that's what you were talking about.
No.
I don't know about this.
Okay, take a listen.
That is Robert Palmer, and this is The Rock of St. Louis, KC95. My good friend Action Jackson, which is hard for me to say, from, the morning after on 105.7, The Point HD2.
That's right.
And also the balloon party at 101 ESPN.
That's right, 10 to 11.
I was in, not to tell everybody this, but I was in the restroom earlier, the ladies' restroom, and you and McKernan were on, and you were talking about how you do not know who Sammy Hagar is.
Now, Lauren, that's not entirely. I know who Sammy Hagar is. I just don't know any of his music.
And I was just in here going through the roster of Sammy Hagar, from Montrose to Van Hagar to Sammy Solo, and you do not even know Van Halen right now, which is incredible. What year were you born?
1998.
Oh my God! I just can't even deal. So anyway, I had to. You were walking in the hall, and I said, I cannot believe. And so I pulled him in here to ridicule him on air. But how are things? How are things at your shows? Are they great?
Great, yeah. Loving it. Doing well. 101's going great.
How are the sports? Are they great?
Sports are great. The Cardinals are doing well. A little guy named Albert Pujols, who might be doing something big here soon.
Oh, maybe tonight, right?
You have to hit 3 of them tonight. But
hey, he can do it. If anybody can do it, he can do it.
Don't ever doubt Albert Pujols. That's what I'll say right now.
I believe that.
But everything's going great.
I'm going to make you a mixtape of all Sammy Hagar songs from over his entire catalog, and I'm going to gift that to you. When's your birthday?
March 13th.
So I have plenty of time to get it done.
You take your time.
Alice Cooper is going to be here September 28th, Stiefel Theater. Here's No More Mr. Nice Guy. It's KC Radio.
Look at that.
God, she's good.
God, yeah, she is good. Jackson, I mean, what was it like to be in the KC95 studios, an afternoon drive?
Yeah, I mean, so I just saw her in the hallway, and she comes up to me. She's like, how can you not know who Sammy Hagar is? And I was like, first of all, how are you? Were you listening to
I know. When I saw you send this over, I was like, how did she know?
Yeah,
they're listening to us in the ladies' room. Is that what she said?
I don't think we're available. But the topic came up on 101 ESPN, and that means that she was listening to Balloon Party, and but I guess it was playing in the ladies' room.
Yeah, I've heard
which is great.
It's the only time I've heard your guys' show. When this one was locked, and I went and used that one. You guys were playing, and it took me a little while in there. I stayed in there a little while.
Oh, thank you. But
sports are great. The Cardinals are doing well.
When music is your life and you work at a radio station around music all the time, you know all these people, just like we know all the sports people. And when a music person says, what? You don't know a big name in music? It's like us saying, what? You don't know that Paul Goldschmidt has a chance to be the MVP? It's just out of our realm. And
well, like when she said,
some people know some things and some people don't know other things.
How's the sports going?
101's going great.
How are the sports? Are they great?
Yeah. So she's like, here, come in the studio real quick. And I was like, okay. And she plays me a bunch of these Sammy Hagar songs. I didn't know a single one of them and didn't recognize any of them. And she's like, all right, we're going on air with this. Like, I'm going to ridicule you on the air. I said, okay. And it was pretty awesome. I mean, it's just awesome being in that studio. It's so
Doug,
cool.
there's a certain cachet about that.
It's an iconic studio. It's cool when you're in there.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. So that was fun.
Iggy, both Jackson and I have been on afternoon drive now with Learn.
You haven't been there yet, have you, Iggy?
Well, I've been in there twice, and
She won't talk to you?
Been told I got to get on the air and get out. So
I mean, the sex appeal to be able
I've
to be
never been asked
playing in the female restroom.
yeah. So am I supposed to be mad because Jackson was in there?
Yeah, this was designed to get
Well, a lot of
jealous.
people are observing and saying, Ken, stop pouting because learn Paul Jackson and not you. That's from Aunt Peg,
Where
one
was I
fan
pouting?
page club
See,
champion.
if I just sit here, I'm pouting. If I'm not talking, I'm pouting according to them. It's always fun to see Learn. No surprise that I think she's the coolest chick that I know.
Learn.
I was listening to Cuts of the Week, and you're like, what do you mean I'm pouting? Should I just be sitting here smiling like a dumbass?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm not talking, I'm like, hi. No, I just sit here.
Guys, look, Funyun is furious right now. He's shaking in his boots. That's from Junior the Juice Man. Leather is boiling right now because Jackson was on with Learn and he wasn't. That's from the 314.
That was my first reaction when Lauren said, "You're going on there." I go, really? Like, you know what that's going to do to Iggy?
No.
What up, Lauren?
I mean, no, I'm happy that you're in there. I mean,
That's cool.
I haven't been on the air with her yet, but yeah, maybe one day.
Guys, Jackson just cucked the S out of Ken without even trying. That's
Mm.
from Joan Jett's groping hand.
Now, I will tell you what I'll be upset about.
What?
Is if you do get a mixtape for your birthday. I got nothing on my birthday.
From who? Learn?
Yeah.
You were expecting something?
No, but if Jackson gets something and I didn't, I'll be upset.
Did you get her anything for her birthday? Probably so.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you've been getting her gifts for a few years.
Wasn't there a stuffed panda bear?
Yeah, there was
a
that.
few years ago.
That's classic stalker behavior.
Yeah.
Gift giving. What does it tell?
There's a camera in the eye of the
No,
panda.
it's just being nice to people I care about.
Doug, you remember Sack? He was board operator on the program.
Sure.
And he just texted me and said he put a poll on the fan page yesterday. Would Iggy be jealous of Jackson? And there were 182 of 186 votes that said yes, according to Sack, just texting me.
Well, there's 182 people are wrong.
Jesus.
And I was kidding about the birthday present, too. I wouldn't be upset about that either. Why would I be upset because Jackson was on with Learn? Good for him.
Because you weren't, and he was.
Well, I'm not here.
But you'd come back
What do you want
here
me
if
to
she'd have
come
you
back
on.
every day at 2:30 and keep striding down the halls and hope she brings me in?
Kind of, yeah.
I'd really enjoy watching that.
Just standing outside of
Boy,
the
this is
studio.
like the fourth week in a row. He's been here at 2:15 just going up and down the
Just
hallways.
pacing.
Guys, watch Iggy right now. He's about to light himself on fire again. Doug, you got video of it yesterday.
I did. I suppose we should share that.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to. What, you got it for your own personal use?
No, I forgot.
Channel 4.
Yeah, for the sportscast.
It's
God,
not
imagine
totally
how
a
annoyed the
sportscast.
rotten can of candy yams is over the fact that Jackson knows zero about classic rock and gets to have that kind of banter with Lauren on her show, while on the other hand, Ken is left to some desolate, off-putting tweet replies at her, or sending her giant stuffed panda bears from that pop-up SoCo carnival outside the Dick's Sporting Goods. That's from Carlos Spicy Wiener.
I do feel bad in that sense that Iggy knows like everything about classic rock and KC, and I know absolutely nothing.
Well, that was all.
I'm with
That's
you.
why you went in there.
Yeah.
I mean, it was kind of funny. No, it's just stupid.
What did the Greg Lansky tweet say?
Now this year, I'll probably have to buy like 5 presents.
Oh, boy.
I mean, I'll buy one for Learn. I'll buy one for Tommy. I'll buy one for John. I'll buy one for Marty. I'll probably buy one for Jody because she is great out in the front and helps everybody out. So I take care of people that I like. It's my birthday in 3 days.
Oh, see there.
On July 22nd, I'll say that. So no, and they're not expensive presents. They're just stupid stuff. Like Jen, who was filled in on K-Sheet.
Oh, did she?
When U-Man was out of town. I think she also does a college, I think WSIE. She does like college stuff. But she was one of our street team members at the Dotem. And she's a huge Stevie Nicks fan. And I happen to have a couple of Stevie Nicks posters on my wall.
Did you?
And I said, I got to come in Saturday. A couple Saturdays ago, I got to come in and do something. When's the next time you're in? She goes, I'm coming in Saturday. I got to do a remote. I said, I got something for you. And I gave her the Stevie Nicks poster. Because she's
wow.
So it's no big deal. It's just I know she's a fan, and she probably appreciated it, so I gave it to her. No ulterior motives. I'm just being nice, and I know that she probably appreciated it. So no big deal. Now I'm going to pout.
Why would you pout now?
So I'm not talking. When I'm not talking, I'm pouting.
Okay. Well, you are a generous soul.
With a nice hole.
I just try to be nice to people. I try to be nice to somebody every day at least once.
Look at that, Doug. Look at this kind of a little
nice
spiritual moment here on the show.
You're a bit of a life Sherpa.
No, just, I try to be nice. At least once a day, I try to find somebody I can be nice to. I tried yesterday at Schnucks, but nobody wanted to talk.
You went up to strangers and began talking at Schnucks?
No, I mean, I just, somebody's, a short lady's trying to grab something. Can I get that for you? I'm fine. Okay, I'm trying to be nice to you, but now I can't. That doesn't count because you're shoving me off.
Maybe you ought to pay for somebody else's groceries.
Damien.
Can we hear that? This is one of the, I don't know when to play this one, but I just wanted to play
Anytime.
it. Yeah.
Damien.
I mean, that could not be. When I cut it, I was dying. And I didn't know when to play it, but it
I
just.
think it shows wisely. Guys, Iggy is scrambling and just word vomiting. I kind of feel bad for him. He's jealous as hell deep down about this. Trying not to hide it. It's from the 314.
I mean, I could come here today at 2:30, walk in, then I'll go on the air.
You could force yourself on the
Is
air.
that right?
I could probably walk in there and say, yeah, put me on the air.
I'm sure Tommy and
Come
Marty
on.
would just love that.
You're just going to force yourself into the studio and say, put me on the air.
I pretty much do it on a daily basis. I don't force myself on the air, but I just kind of walk into studios and say hi.
Into other studios here while they're on the air?
Yeah, that was my response when she said she was on the show yesterday on Instagram. I said, damn it. This is one of the few days I didn't just go strolling into other studios during the morning.
Well, what other shows have you been on?
Well, I go on occasion. Not on. But I'll go in and say hi to you, man. Or
Is that where you are when you show up late here?
No, I'm not smoking.
Well,
Yeah,
when do you go to these other studios?
Just during breaks.
I thought that's when you were out smoking.
Well, if I have time. If I see the red light on, so what?
I gotta write that down.
Okay.
No, I mean the red light in here. If I see it on, I'll be back. Then make it on and say hi to you, man, and AD, or walk down and say hi to Randy or Michelle.
While they're on the air?
No, if the red light's on, I don't go in. There's only one studio I have not walked into. Which one do you think that is?
WIL.
No, I walked in there.
Oh. 101.
No, I've never walked
How
in.
about the Rizzuto studio?
Yeah, I've never walked into the Rizzuto studio. I've walked into King Scott's room there, but I've never walked into the Point studio. I did when Donnie Van Dangle was on, but not when the Riz guys were on.
Damien.
That and I have a landing strip and Where's Wet Pink. It's been a great summer for drops.
Was I really upset about Where Was Wet Pink?
Yeah, I don't know how you were upset about Wet Pink.
It
I mean,
sounded
that was
like I was
something that
screaming.
I was dealing with in 1993 in high school.
I think you were imitating the person that was trying to find the DVD or the
I love
VHS.
that Wet Pink was an answer to one of the trivia questions at St. Gabriel's.
Yep.
Did you take Wet Pink? Where is Wet Pink?
Those are heavy hitters in the
It's been a great summer for drops.
So to answer the question that was brought up earlier, and I've pretty much spent 30 minutes talking about nothing. I am not upset that you're on with Learn. I'm glad you're on with Learn because she's.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, it was a
Learning cool.
She's cool. She'd be
It was a
fun
great
to hang out with
experience
on the
for
show.
me.
Seems like there's some friction now between you and Jackson.
It really does it sound like that to you?
Yeah.
Why don't you just get in with all the texters and just make a fool of yourself?
Wow, cutting comments here on the show.
But she is so good on the mic, man. Like, she can play ball. She is really great.
Now, some people
She is outstanding.
Some people last week, and you were reading some of the texts, and I think we talked about it off the air, that I didn't mention that while I was doing my cooking show, Learn was watching and did an Instagram Live of my cooking show. And people were texting, can't believe you didn't bring that up.
I think Learn texted me and said she couldn't believe you.
Well, it kind of just slipped my mind.
I
And
should
Tim, I'm
have
going to
the
show, if you
audio
don't mind
on me.
hijacking it for 1 second.
Tim, get your nurse back to the show. The White Walker needs to go back to his room. That's from the 618. Stop mumbling and talking to the mic, nose whistler. That's from the 618. Strode, if the red light's on, I don't care. On Breath, if the red light's on, I won't go. Unreal, check the tape.
What he meant was if our red light is on, that's no big deal. But if 101 WIL, the arch red light is on, he
Plow
would not
hockey kind of translates.
It wasn't that hard to understand.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that confusing either.
Sometimes you need a grandson figure to decipher what.
You got like a stenographer in the corner. Can you read me that back?
And I will try not to mumble. I will talk like this all the time. Plowsy, you nailed it. That's exactly what I was talking about.
Nice broadcasting
If
voice.
this red light is on, I don't care. I may be a little late, but I won't go into another studio when their red light is on because I don't want to interrupt their show.
How do you not know Sammy Hagar, you wasp? Jackson, take that silver spoon out of your mouth and shove it up my rectum. That's from Ernie Bjorkman.
I'm Jewish. How can I be a wasp?
And are you a wasp if you don't know Sammy Hagar or Van Halen? I don't know if that's the case.
If it's just not your music, the genre that you like, why do you have to like somebody else's big stuff?
I know who Sammy Hagar is, and I loved him with Montrose. I'm not a Sammy fan. I don't really care for his solo stuff.
Okay, fair enough. Everyone can like who they want. Somehow you don't like Glowworm.
That's just awful.
It isn't.
I like the Beatles. They're old.
Yeah.
But it's like old music. Like I don't know.
Well, they're iconic. Everybody knows the Beatles. But I can see if you're born in the late 90s that if you're not following Van Halen, you don't know who the lead singer is. I mean, you know who David Lee Roth is?
I've heard the name. I don't know who he is.
Okay, fair enough.
Doug, 1984. What an album.
Okay.
Is that a book
It's
as
a
well?
good book, yeah. George Orwell.
Read that in high school.
I scrolled past your cooking show last night, Iggy. 4 people were watching. It's from Harrison's brother, Master.
What's your point? Yeah, I know nobody watches. I don't care.
Oh.
It's no sweat off my ass to put a tripod in the corner and turn a video on and just cook. If you watch, you watch. If you don't, you don't. I don't care. There are a couple people that watch it religiously, and for those people, that's what I do the show for.
Sure.
Anybody
and for
else
me,
that
because
joins?
I get the fruits of
Yeah,
your
but you
labor.
don't even watch the show, and every once in a while you come in and Trish Brown's in there watching.
Trish Brown?
Yeah.
Former News 4 chief meteorologist. You can text in your thoughts, as many people are doing. Engineer, design, facilities, text inbox. EDF's fire division is now testing, inspecting, and maintaining the fire system on all commercial kitchen and restaurant hoods. If you have visibility to your company or place of business's commercial fire alarm panel and system, please email fire@edf-rg.com. They'll have a technician come out and provide a free evaluation of your system and offer the most competitive contract pricing in the market. You can also check them out anytime at edf-rg.com. The official commercial fire alarm services and solutions provider of TMA. That's Engineered Designed Facilities. Sponsor of our text inbox, 314-881-TMA5. Doug Ryan Kelly is sponsor of the show. I mean the title sponsor. That's right. Title
That's what
sponsor,
he is.
Ryan Kelly.
He's been that for a long time, and he's been helping homeowners with their original mortgage or with a refi. Home equity is way up there right now. It's a perfect time for a cash-out refinance. I've done this twice too, Ryan Kelly, and I can tell you the whole process, very simple, very easy, and they will take good care of you, and you'll know just what is going on. Rates will go back up soon, no doubt, so act before they do. The average cash-out refi right now at the Home Loan Expert is $54,000. You could do a lot with that money, like pay off those high-interest credit cards. The Home Loan Expert can structure your loan to miss out on a few months of payments. Find the financial freedom you want with $54,000 from a cash-out refi and no payments for a couple of months. The Home Loan Expert has rates over a quarter point lower than the national average and is home to that 10-day closing guarantee. TheHomeLoanExpert.com. Thank you, Ryan Kelly. Thank you, Ryan Mortgage.
Yeah, title sponsor of this program now for a decade. Ryan Kelly online at thehomeloanexpert.com. Stratum Structural Systems. If you are dealing with any foundation repair needs or any waterproofing needs, work with the great Matt Ford and the great Brett Groman of Stratum Structural Systems. The phone number to Stratum Structural Systems is 314-620-8153. And when you call, let them know you're a TMA listener, and you get $100 off your repair project. They have over 5 decades of combined structural experience in basement waterproofing and foundation repair, basement crack repair, foundation piering for settling homes, bowing or rotating wall repairs, basement waterproofing services like sump pumps, interior and exterior drainage solutions, egress window installation, concrete leveling and downspout extensions. Stratum Structural Systems in Chesterfield, Missouri, and Columbia, Illinois. It is Stratum. Let them know you're a TMA listener, and you get $100 off your repair project. You are welcome to call in 636-9004-TMA. Steve Schmidt Kia, North County phone lines email in the morning after at InsideSTL.com for our Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email today. Keep in mind, you get a foursome to the Lemmings Open, courtesy of James Carlton, who's not able to play next Friday, and he is giving his foursome back for today's Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email today. Send them in the morning after at InsideSTL.com, and the This Is Brutal t-shirt is now available at TMASTLshop.com. It's available in white, it's available in black, and it is a phenomenal design courtesy of the Veiled Prophet, and everything, including the Pepper and Genie shirt. The Cardinals are coming, tra-la, tra-la. The Banty Rooster on the Bat t-shirt in powder blue and red and white. Everything. The TMA shirts with the TMA logo. The Free Dotem shirt. The Doug Vaughn Suspension t-shirt. They're all there, and everything is 10% off. You got golf hats. You got golf head covers. It's all there, and it's all 10% off at TMASTLshop.com, including the ever-popular, brand-new This Is Brutal. Jackson, somebody from the 832 wants to call in and is really active about it. Doug, what area code is 832?
It's one of them. It's one of them.
Yeah, we're kind of big in Houston, aren't we?
Yeah, I was going to say Southern Texas.
More like Cricket Wireless, fake phone.
Yeah. Correct.
Plowhawk with what
first two
might
texts.
be a tight read.
Yeah, and here comes a call. I'm going to mute my mic. Give me one moment.
Yeah, an unavailable call. Those are always special.
I think I get 2 or 3 scam calls for every legitimate call I get nowadays on my phone.
Oh, yeah. I get them from New England and all over.
I get some speaking Chinese. Every now and then I'll answer it, or they'll leave a voicemail. It'll be people speaking Chinese to me.
I love the IRS voicemails. You know,
I haven't had one of those yet.
That's funny. This is the IRS. You owe $5,000. Like, this is unbelievably awesome.
And here's our address: 132 South Elm Street,
St. Louis.
St. Louis, Missouri. Yeah.
What a guy was screaming at each other one time because I actually played along with it, and I called it back. I said, "Yeah, I just got a call from you guys. Said the IRS is looking for me. Yes, you have 1 day to get this payment in, or the police will show up." I said, "Well, do you have my address?" "Yes, we have it." I said, "Well, send them now. I don't need to wait a day. Send them now." "You're in big trouble, buddy." I said, "Send the cops. I'm out here waiting right now. Where are they?" And he started yelling at me, and I said, "F you," and we started screaming. He goes, "No, F you." I'm like, yeah, I got a telemarketer screaming at me like this really going to happen.
The honey hole.
I do love
for
playing
the
along with them.
70 plus. They get. I mean, they just get them all the time.
Doug, who do we have online? We have Dylan who wants to talk Mizzou football on the Steve Schmidt Kia North County phone line.
Dillian Harper.
Oh wow.
No, Dylan. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were Dillian. Okay. Sorry, Dylan.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the Mizzou defensive line. What was the name of the K-State running back from
Deuce Vaughn. Deuce Vaughn. Deuce.
And, Doug, you'd call him a jitterbugging scat back?
Yes, a little jitterbugging scat back. That's exactly
a little bit of a coincidence, don't you think?
How so?
Well, his last name's Vaughn, and he's in a hot scat play.
Okay. All right. Put him down. Put him down. Put him down.
I thought he was going to play on, like, taking a deuce on Vaughn.
I don't know why he's faking his name because he's not suspended anymore.
He's suspended now. Dylan suspended a period of 2 days' time. His name right now is going to the suspension logule, and I'm writing his name down with malice. This won't feel real good.
He's an absolute treasure. What a great call.
You've known him before?
I know the guy.
Who was it?
I'm not going to reveal.
He called into Pepper and Genie on Monday, right?
Yeah, he called into P&G.
What's his government name?
Should we tell him? I mean, it's Dotem.
Yeah,
that was Dotem?
Yeah. Well, I guess
that was
Dotem? That was. He is a great gentleman. One of the best Americans.
I didn't know he was living in Houston.
Doesn't sound like it to me.
Son of Bill.
Son-in-law of Bill.
Son-in-law of Bill.
Dennis and Denise.
Is he living in Houston now? I didn't know that.
Oh, no.
I don't know if that was the Houston guy.
That was Deke Dotem, was it?
Yeah, and I don't know if I guess I'll wait for him to reveal that.
He couldn't be more vile.
Well, I don't know if he's not suspended anymore. I'd love for Dotem to call in every day.
He's suspended 2 days' time now.
Well, it doesn't matter.
I took away the indefinite suspension when Ryan Kelly raised some money to get that done.
Well, he sent me
that's like 3 months out.
He sent me a Snapchat, and it looks like him and M are expecting a third.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I didn't
know that.
I felt like he probably already told the family, I would assume, since he Snapchatted me the photo. But yeah, congratulations. Love the Dotems.
Wow.
They're
How about that?
Phenomenal people. And if this is supposed to be kept under wraps, my bad. But I just felt like I wanted to congratulate those two, because they're great human beings.
What if Dennis and Denise are listening and they didn't know yet?
I would assume I wasn't being told before Dennis and Denise knowed him.
I wonder if he talks to his children with the same potty mouth he talks to us.
He sent me some Snapchats, and they're just really hilarious back and forth with his kids. It's really gold. They'll do like pizza reviews and have the kids get involved. It's great.
Okay.
What up, Deke?
Doug, what up, Deke?
He's suspended. Suspended a period of 2 days' time.
Dear Deidre, my wife constantly turns me down, insisting she has a low libido. It seems she can muster up the enthusiasm for sex with some stranger she just met.
Jesus, you're screwed.
I feel so humiliated and hurt. Now it feels like it wasn't sex she didn't want. It was me she didn't want.
Oh, really? You think that might be it?
We've been together for 5 years and have had our ups and downs, but I really do love her. She's 34 and I am 36.
Why are they always this? They're almost the same exact age.
Yeah. I've always had a fairly high sex drive, but I've been so patient with her, putting my own needs second. Ideally, I'd like to have sex every single night, at least once. But she's never wanted it more than once a week, if I'm lucky. I've never cheated on her, even looked at another woman, and satisfy myself if she isn't in the mood. We've been having a few problems lately, mainly because we can't decide if we want to have kids, but I thought things were getting better. Last week, she came home from a weekend away with her best friend, and she seemed sheepish. She was quiet for days. Eventually, I asked what was wrong, and she broke down, admitting that she'd got drunk and slept with a random gentleman she met at a pub.
Nice, Army base.
Suddenly she's in the mood.
Boing.
It's like Beavis and Butthead. She says she doesn't know why she did it, and she regrets it. She's relieved she told me because she doesn't want to keep secrets from me. I'm gutted.
Nice term.
While I want to forgive her, I can't get the image of her having sex with another man out of my head. But I'm also angry and confused. Why doesn't she want to have sex with me, her loving husband? Yet she'll jump into bed with a total stranger at the first opportunity. It's making me wonder whether she enjoys sex with me at all, or even if she finds me unattractive. Deidre's got advice. This is great. This is going to help a lot of our listeners.
Move out.
Your wife may feel relieved that she's unburdened herself of her guilty secret, but it's left you feeling confused, hurt, and inadequate. Now that you know the truth, you have a choice. Either you split up or you sort things out. Otherwise, this will eat away at you and destroy everything. Sounds like you're less upset about the cheating than her desire for another man, given she rarely wants sex with you. You must ask her to be honest. If she's unhappy in bed with you, then this is something you can both work on. Think about relationship counseling, alone and or together. You can find support through Tavistock Relationships.
Do what?
Doug, it's tavistock.relationships.org. You can call them at 020-7380-1960. My support pack, Cheating. Can you get over it? Might be helpful also, along with my support pack, Different Sex Drives. Nice. So good.
Okay.
So helpful.
She trying to sell this fella something?
Sally Land.
I mean, that's the one where you're done.
That's a cucking.
It's just...
Is that a cuck?
Oh, yeah.
If you're only 5 years into your marriage and sex is stale and she's not wanting to have sex with you and she's cheating on an army base...
Oh, it always has to be an army base.
Well, I just always like the blanket statement. The
Gets
army
you feeling
base.
everyone in the army is involved. Entire platoons.
The Royal Air Force.
I think you just got to call it.
Well, that advice I would give is simple. Just get her drunk. She obviously got drunk and went with another guy. Just get her drunk.
You've got a problem if your wife swims after troop shifts.
And you also have a problem if you have to liquor your wife up for a night of lovemaking.
Oh, sure.
I think it's done at that point.
Bad beat.
And I need to see pictures.
You do need to see some pictures.
I mean, I can't answer your question until I
Why?
see a picture of the guy. Well, he asked the question. Does she not want to have sex with me? Is it because she finds me unattractive? Is it? Well, I got to see a picture of you. I mean, if
No,
you're...
it's not if you find him unattractive. It's she does.
I think he has fun.
Well, Iggy can be
Yeah,
the
but I want to
judge.
look at him, too. If I look at him and say, yeah, that's the answer. Look at you.
Oh.
No wonder you're not getting laid.
Mazel tov, nonetheless.
I do.
Well, either way, you're screwed. So just get
So
out
what's
of
the move, Iggy? Divorce?
Divorce.
Divorce it is, Doug.
And I think that's why she told him. Now, you can cover it up by saying, she felt guilty and told him. But to me, I think she told him to put the ball in his court. Put the ball, the ball is in his court, and I think she wants to.
She wants him to file.
Yeah, it seemed that way. And she can act as if she's guilty But really, she's kind of putting it out there like, I had sex with this guy.
So if she's admitting it, she probably doesn't care either.
No,
if
that's
the
what I'm
divorce
saying.
goes
Like,
through.
I don't think she's looking to save that relationship.
Yeah, I don't know what the alimony laws are in England. I don't know if it's like the state's half or...
Well, it doesn't sound like they're both liquid.
Yeah, it doesn't look like
she's
they're
at like
making a ton
pub
of money
getting
anyway.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know.
Well, it's all made up anyway, but we give good advice.
What is she, 34? He's 36?
That's correct, Flabbuck. That's correct.
They got married. That's about the age now. People are getting married, aren't they? Late 20s, early 30s.
Well, they said they were together
Pretty
5
common.
years. Was that married or together? Together 5 years and your sex is stale. That's a tough one.
I think there's a decline in marriage, though, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Average age to get married is typed in a search engine. The median age at first marriage for women was 28 years in 2015 through 2019, up from 26.3 in 2006 to 2010. The median age at first marriage for men was 29.9 years in 2015 to 2019, up from 28.1 in 2006 to 2010. Age at first marriage also varies widely across states and local areas.
Sure.
And I can't guarantee things anymore. I would bet, though, if you go back to like the 1960s, 50s, late 50s, early 60s, I'll bet the average age of marriage was like 20, 21.
All right.
Well, it had to be.
Yeah, they were really young.
I mean,
Let's get married really young.
after 25, they thought females weren't fertile. And they were just pounding out kids. There's no single 25-year-old guys like back in the 40s and 50s, it seemed like. So
There were no single guys?
Well, a smaller sample size than what you can find now. And so the desperation of finding a significant other, popping out a few babies, and having that security blanket was way more important back then.
The first half
than
of the
what it is
40s,
now.
most of the guys were over in Europe or Japan for the first, or at least at camp somewhere. Clear up until 1945, so there was a definite shortage of men then.
Yeah.
Camp Don Bosco.
I think my dad was in Korea before they got married. I think they got married before my dad went off to Korea. I think my mom was 18.
Yeah, there was a lot of marriages when they were very young.
In 1955, the average age of marriage was 23 for men and 20 for women.
How about that?
That is crazy.
Yeah, about 1920.
Me and Madison want to go to the courthouse and just do it, but...
Save a lot of money that way.
You got to think of family members and things like that.
Is she, how many siblings does she have?
She only has one sister.
And is she younger, older, and is she married?
She is older and is married, yes.
Okay. Yeah, like if she were the only child, that probably would be tough.
Like,
for her
honestly, would just love a huge bash in terms of, that's why people go to weddings. They don't go for it for, the ceremony.
Well, it's a day to show off the bride. It's a big day.
Well, she can still get, the full deal. You just don't have to rent out a church or, you just have to rent out a venue and get food.
Yeah.
It'll be a lot cheaper. We want to have a kid at 39, like me at 38. That's what we want to do. So we're going to be behind the times there. So I think we'll get married at 30. I'll be at 36, and she'll be 30.
And
Well, she's still
mapped
got
out.
some time. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The average age in Missouri, 2015 to 2019, for first marriage for women, 26.9, and in Illinois, 28.9. The average age for women's first marriage in New York, the state of New York, 29.7, comparatively speaking, to Alabama, 26.7. I believe that is the, Arkansas, 25.7. So it varies state by state, region by region. Do with it what you want.
I mean, in New York, you're just looking to not, get tied down. I assume that's why it's almost 30 at
Or it
that
could be
point.
economic reasons.
Very true.
Trying to get your financial
What about Utah?
life in order.
Utah back in the day used to be a lot of teenage brides.
Utah, 24.6.
But that probably goes hand in hand with the Latter-day Saints and, right?
Well, back in the day when you...
Utah's the lowest one.
Yeah, I was going to say, because back in the day when you could marry 4 or 5 women, they were marrying like teenagers. They would have a wife and they'd marry another 18, 19-year-olds who were marrying teenagers back in the day. So I thought it'd be kind of low.
Well, you were correct, sir. You were correct, sir.
Chalk one up for Iggy.
Nice going, Iggy.
It's a nice win for you. It's a real nice W.
I saw that life expectancy in the country has gone down.
I saw that.
Due to fentanyl deaths killing a lot of younger people. And, of course, there was COVID also. And rising crime rate. It's killing younger people. Yeah.
It's Kathy says, don't, period, ever, period, get, period, married, period. That's from It's Kathy.
Oh.
And I, honestly, like, yeah, that's, I mean, I don't know if I would say, yeah, that's a great point, but, I mean, what is it, 50%? And maybe, I don't know if that's still the stat.
End in divorce?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's something like that.
So certainly there's, you know, when you do go through that, I'm sure you have that in your head where it's not as enjoyable as, you know, that fairy tale story that people tell you.
Almost 50% of marriages still ending in divorce.
I didn't know if that changed. I know that's been about the stat for the last 10 or 15 years.
Yeah, for a while.
Well, I won't get married, so.
Never even close.
I want to get married and have kids, but then at the same time, I wouldn't mind going to the courthouse and not having kids and just having dogs. So I don't know. I think there's pros to both, and you know.
Yeah. Well, you better figure that out before you get married.
Well, we will.
Especially if Madison wants kids and you decide you don't want kids.
I mean, mainly we're gonna. I mean, we both want kids, but it's like we're the only ones. Like my sister has one and she's done. Madison's sister's not having kids, so like we're it. And I'm the last of my family name, too.
Oh, you are. Last Adkins.
I don't really care about that as much. I wouldn't put that in my top 3 of reasons why, you know, I would have kids. But, man, just the ability to travel more. And, again, I'm not saying kids are bad. I absolutely love kids. And if I have a couple, that's awesome. But there is something to say about...
That'll change your life for sure.
Oh, 100%. 100%. In a positive way, for sure.
I'm glad my brother had a couple of boys. Because if you were going to leave it up to me to keep the Strode lineage going, you were screwed.
You were the last of the Strode line.
So now my brother has 2 sons, so they'll carry on the line.
Guys, do you know the median age in other states to get invited to a Pitbull concert via Facebook? That's from Waffle Fry.
Yeah.
Damn, that's in depth.
Didn't work, but I tried.
Danny Tanner is scolding It's Kathy. It's Kathy. That's bad advice to give. Marrying the right person is the best thing that will ever happen to you. From Danny Tanner.
Well, I think everybody thinks they're marrying the right person.
Iggy took the words right out of my mouth. Nice job, Iggs.
I mean, you're not going to get married. She's the wrong person for me, but I'm getting married this week.
I'm settling.
No, you're looking for the right person. Everybody thinks they have the right person, that you're going to be married forever.
Well, sure.
But records tell you 50% of that is wrong.
My advice, is it still the case to where people don't live together for long periods of time before they get married?
I think they do more than ever.
Okay. I would hope the case. Me and Madison have been living together almost our entire relationship. I think after 4 months, we moved in together. And that's a real tester. Like, and it worked out great for us, but back in the day, you didn't really move in with someone until either an engagement or the actual wedding took place. That
Usually
is
the wedding,
that's a tough one.
You have to, I would think. And I'm just speaking from taking guesses because I've never been close to getting married. But, I mean, you can't just not live with somebody and then get married the first time you move in together and
that'd be
your
so
girlfriend walks around dropping ass and you don't...
That's the main reason.
Where did this
you don't do that.
That's a top
you don't
3.
do that
Where
kind
did
of
this come from? I didn't see this before. Well, do it all the time. You got to find these things out before
I
you're
don't
going to
think
live
that
together
happens.
the rest of
Is
your
that
life.
the reason?
No, it's not that.
It'd be so funny if you read that in like a marriage book.
Oh, I dumped a girl once. I dumped a girl once for it. She wouldn't stop. She wanted the house.
Now stop making that sound. You've done that before.
Yeah, but I'm telling a story. So that's one idiosyncrasy that if you didn't live with a girl and you get married and you move in together and that starts happening, wait a minute, I didn't sign up for this.
I think cleanliness is super important. And you don't really know how clutter begins until you live with a female. And so I think it's just always nice to live with somebody for a while before making a huge lifelong commitment.
But it's the guy, too. I mean, the girl doesn't want to all of a sudden live together and she's... What? There's like 9 pair of skid-marked underwear laying on the floor. Pick those up.
Oh.
Dude, I'll poop with like the door open now. Like me and Madison are so open with each other.
Don't do that.
I just do not. We just light bombs off.
Bill.
Doesn't matter
Bill's
to me.
bombs.
Doesn't matter to me
That'd be a
one
deal breaker
bit
for me.
anymore, man.
Maybe a deal
Don't do
breaker.
that. You still have to have some common decency towards one another.
That relationship would be over if that happened.
Oh, I Dutch oven the hell out of her.
Oh, do you?
Oh yeah, it's fun. But again, like that's when that's when you know we're gonna be together forever. Is that?
I guess if
that,
you can put up with that.
When you can Dutch oven.
Yeah, wait.
And still be committed to that relationship.
Wait till you're 60 or 70 and you're Dutch ovening and then throwing your diapers at each other.
Oh, dog. But once you're 70, it doesn't matter anymore. At that point, you're just riding to the end of the.
You think
the
that
finish
until
line.
you're the one that's 70, and then you think, well, life does matter.
I got another 15 years left in me.
Yeah, people don't give up. You assume you see an old person, you assume, well, you might as well just give up until that old person is you, and you don't want to give up.
This is interesting. You're a lucky guy, Plowboy, but I'm curious what Maddie's dad's tinkle smells like. Doug, that's from Totem.
Stop.
He just got suspended.
Jeff is a great guy.
I'm going to ratchet it up. I'm going to treble the charges.
But I thought he was ineligible to be suspended because we raised a bunch of money.
Well, the indefinite suspension got lifted, but the day-to-day suspensions continue, and they just
all
got
he did
trouble.
was ask a question.
Well, the
6
answer
days
is, I don't
time.
know.
You heard me. 6
I think it's a pretty
days
easy one to answer that.
time.
Has it ever crossed your mind that you wondered what another gentleman's tinkle smelled like?
Oh.
I never crossed mine.
Nice hit by
No.
Pujols. He's still swinging a hot
Even to
guy.
rake that
right to the
in.
gap.
Yeah, if he just got under that a little bit.
Kind of threw his bat at it, though.
He hit it hard.
Does he have 700, 800 doubles?
I don't know how many doubles he's got.
It's a lot of doubles. Nobody talks about his doubles.
It's Kathy's back. Fine, get married, but get a prenup. You don't need her trying to take half that HD2 money. It's Kathy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, who was the guy that...
That's got to be a hard conversation to have, though, too, but prenups. Listen, I love you with all my heart. We're going to build a family and be together forever, but I want you to sign this so you don't ever take my money. I don't know how people do that.
Oh, I'll sign whatever. I don't care. I don't have any money, so it's like easy.
Plowboy, if you have children, you run the risk of them turning out like Mr. Licks. How depressed would you be if you were his parents? More Pepper and Genie, less Licks, Mr. Licks. That's from LaWarson Woods Wacko.
I mean, kids are so fun, but again, they are life-changing, and both, a positive and sometimes negative, depending on, what you're dealing with. So
I know children are a beautiful thing, and parents love their kids, but man, wouldn't it be nerve-wracking when your kids get to that age where they start driving for the first time or they start dating for the first time, and oh God, she's in the car. I hope she's okay. I hope she's dating this guy. That would be nerve-wracking.
Well, the first 3 months, it's almost not a human. Like that's when I would be the most terrified. Is propping the neck up and they're entrusting you and you alone completely for that survival, and that literally terrifies the hell out of me.
Well, every new parent goes through that.
I get it.
You learn pretty quick.
And luckily
Support the neck, though. Support the neck.
Yeah, for me, I like that we have different work schedules, so be half a daycare instead of a full daycare. I can fuel up 3 to 4 hours of sleep. So we have some advantages there in terms of, and she's nannied for, a long period of time before we met. So she's really good with kids. So we have a lot going for us. We like vacations. We love dogs.
2 out of 3 divorces are caused by the wife dropping unexpected ass. That's from Dave in St.
I
Peter's.
just don't think so.
I need a source on that.
Yeah,
Yale?
I can see it.
I just don't think so.
It'd be funny if a professor at Yale or Princeton did this study. Interviewed a
Sounds like a
1,000
government
divorced
study
couples.
that we'd spend a couple $2 billion on.
Sunday morning, you just make a nice cup of coffee, you got the paper ready, and you hear this...
Okay, stop making that noise.
Honey, bring me some toilet paper. I mean, that's a breaker right there.
Well, sure it would be. So most people don't do it.
But if you're not living together and that's the first thing you do when you get married.
But that's probably not going to be the first
according
thing
to the texture, 75% of
Dave in
marriages.
St. Peter's, Doug, you know him. He had a...
You're
supposed to hold it for 70 years?
No, but you shut the door.
Yes, of course you do.
Been with Mrs. Smith 36 years. Parents have been married 62 years. Thanks. That's from Mr. Smith, Doug.
Smitty.
Well, yeah.
Well, he swings.
There's always going to be one story of we've been married 70 years, another story that I couldn't stand her after 2 months. I couldn't stand him after 1 month. There's always going to be those stories, and there's going to be the success stories.
But the reason that there's a higher divorce rate now than the 50s, and I'm watching Mad Men, and they're depicting the 50s. It's not a real version, but women couldn't get divorced. If your husband cheating on you, if you get treated like crap, divorce was so faux pas back in the day. women don't get remarried. You have kids, and the guy was the only one working. And so the women had basically no options. And so now that women are in the workforce, making their own money, kind of have a little bit more of, equal rights nowadays. Now it's easier to have a woman go, screw this. I'm going, somewhere else.
Probably
now, back
so.
in the day, you were kind of, I wouldn't say held hostage, but very limited options.
I don't know that I knew any of my friends or my circle where the parents were divorced.
Yeah.
I don't remember any of them.
Even in mine, like in, early 90s, I didn't hardly know anybody.
Well, in Brentwood, where I lived, was a lot of Catholic people. Catholics just didn't get divorced.
Yeah.
It's a mortal sin.
Well, if my mom's Catholic, and that did not happen.
Well, my friends weren't mostly Catholic, and none of them were divorced either. Had nothing to do with being Catholic or not.
Well, I'm telling you where I came from.
I think I'm right, though. I think just, women have more power making their own money as opposed to being housewives with no options outside
Probably
of
so.
living for your husband. And
The
living for your
husband
kids.
supported them completely.
100%.
And if they got divorced, they were in real trouble at that point. It was a direct route to poverty.
Mm-hmm. And, scandalous. Ooh, you got divorced.
Yeah.
Scandal going on.
All right, then.
We just knocked that topic out.
Well, we did.
Boom. Check.
Should say that for Pepper and Genie, two guys
bow
that have
around
never been married, doing a topic on marriage.
No kids. Talking about kids.
Yeah.
If you are interested in having a taste to, that's what Stephen Wildwood's recommending, if you get married and have kids, just drink a lot, then I recommend Fistful of Bourbon. Fistful of Bourbon. There's a lot of common sense and Western wisdom, like don't squat with your spurs on and always drink upstream from the fan page. And there's also some Western wisdom that's less common, like never steal from a bear what you can't make for yourself, or a twink doesn't know his worth until he's eye to eye with a rattlesnake holding a toad. I'm sure there's a good lesson in there somewhere, but there's one lesson that's perfectly clear. Fistful of Bourbon is an award-winning blend of 5 straight bourbons and as smooth as a banker on Friday. Get wise, pick up a bottle today. Don't be a damn fool. Please enjoy responsibly. Imported by William Grant & Sons, New York, New York. That's Fistful of Bourbon. Send your emails in. James Carlton is giving away his foursome for the Lemmings Open for our Design Air Heating and Cooling Email of the Day prize. Send yours in. That comes your way at 9:45. Jackson and I will head down the hallway at 10 o'clock, and we're going to navigate it, candidly. We're going to navigate it on Balloon Party from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Then we will do the Pick 6 podcast. Didn't get a chance to do it yesterday, so we will do it today, just Jackson and myself. And that will be up. QFTA is up. Pepper and Genie is coming your way as well. You are welcome to email in for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email today, the morning after at InsideSTL.com, or call in for our Steve Schmidt Kia of North County phone lines. And, of course, text in via the Engineered Design Facilities text inbox 314-881-TMA5. This closes out the Appliance Discounters 8 o'clock hour. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
Okay.
Hot takes.
Yeah.
Pepper and Genie. Pepper and Genie.
And now the Pepper and Genie Show with Darren Atkins and Ken Stroh. All right, take it, fellas.
There it is. That's the open.
Pepper and Genie.
Pepper and Genie. Pepper and Genie. Pepper and Genie. Pepper and Genie. Pepper and Genie. Pepper and Genie. Pepper and Genie.
We don't know what it is. We don't understand the name. We just know it's stupid. And it's available every weekday, featuring Iggy and the Plowboy. Apparently it's some kind of a podcast or something. Available at TMASTL.com and on the TMASTL mobile app. Whatever.
Hey, it's Jackson from Mark Hanna. TMA listeners have a lot to think through financially. Saving for retirement and college while also paying bills and enjoying life along the way. Whether you're like me and starting your financial planning, or if you're already retired, call Mark Hanna. Mark works with you to design a strategy to do your finances right. It's a straightforward approach that starts with a 15-minute phone call to discuss your needs. Visit evergreenstl.com or give Mark a call at 314-889-0503 today. Mark Hanna offers securities through Equitable Advisors and insurance and annuity products through Equitable Network, LLC.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly with thehomeloanexpert.com in studio today with one of my favorites, like legit, one of my favorite people in the world. I know that some people, they don't believe me, but I mean it. Tim McKernan, the man, the myth, the legend. We're here at Hubbard Radio. I checked out the new studio today.
What do you think?
The wallpaper is fabulous.
How about that?
Man, that's like 10, 11 years in the making.
It really was, and it looks good, and it's been made possible
I'm not just saying this, just like you're saying. If you weren't our title sponsor for all those lean years, we wouldn't have made it here. So we are always grateful, and our audience is grateful for your support of TMA.
One of the best investments, one of the best deals I've ever done. I've said that over a decade. I still mean that. Like, this is a show that I'm involved with. Heck, I spend too much time on the fan page some nights. My wife will tell you that. But the good work that the show has done, the money that's been raised, the community, the culture, everything about it, I'm all in, man. I'm a TMA limiting for life, I don't know what else to say about that, except if you need a mortgage, visit thehomeloanexpert.com.
This is Tim McKernan. I'd like to tell you about a company I started just a couple of years ago, and they still own. And it's called Sound Story. It's essentially a 1-hour interview that we do either in person or via Zoom with mothers, fathers, grandmothers, grandfathers. They come in and they tell their stories, education, growing up, and of course, family stories, the wisdom that they can share with their loved ones for generations to come. It's an audio heirloom. It's Sound Story. To learn more, go to mysoundstory.com. If you are a commercial property manager, property owner, small business owner, or are involved in operations, listen up. Engineer Design Facilities has become the #1 commercial fire alarm service provider in the market. EDF's goal is to not increase your operating budget, but rather decrease it, and at the same time service your business's commercial fire alarm needs with the most experienced and competent technicians this region has to offer. Make sure your building is up to code. Email fire@edf-rg.com to schedule your systems evaluation today. That's fire@edf-rg.com.
The Classic Car Show in concert, September 25th at the Factory in Chesterfield, with performances by Jackal and Stephen Piercy from Ratt. Tickets for the concert on sale now. Got a classic car you want to show off? Vehicle registration is open now. The Classic Car Show and concert, a day of fun for the family and a night of rock.
Find out how to get tickets at thefactorystl.com.
Bertarelli Cutlery is the gold standard when it comes to having your knives sharpened. Locally owned and operated family business on the hill, where you can not only get knives sharpened, you can get those nitro gloves. Price of gloves has skyrocketed over the years. The need and demand for the gloves is back in a big way. Bertarelli has purchased truckloads of these gloves, and they buy in bulk and then pass the savings along to you. You'll also appreciate Bertarelli for their ability to sharpen up your tools. Chainsaw, axe, knife, lawnmower blades, you name it, they will sharpen it up. Bertarelli Cutlery, 1927 Marconi Avenue on the Hill. The website is bertarellico.com.
Here's Action Jackson with 3 more ways to get TMA content.
Check out listener rewards on the new TMA mobile app. Watch the show live on the TMA studio cams. Find it at TMASTL.com. Get the podcast on the TMA app. Download it now.
Thanks, Jackson. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on 105.7 FM HD2.
Join the Ryan Kelly Morning After, September 22nd at Maggie O'Brien's in Sunset Hills for the night before the sold-out Lemmings Open Pre-Party. It's a night of TMA Live from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Join your TMA favorites as the guys host a wing-eating contest, trivia, and plenty of games. Get $16 domestic bucket specials, and don't miss their house specialty Reuben rolls. It's a free event brought to you by Mick Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. And Mungenast Acura and Toyota. Better than ever for you, their customer. Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
The Ryan Kelly Morning After.
KPN-TFM HD2,
Collinsville, St. Louis.
My luck, it really sucks. It's really bad.
Nice.
My luck is like a vacuum cleaner. It sucks. I can't do anything right. I can't do anything. I mess it up. He messes it up. I got no luck. Oh, dude, I found a penny. Oh, nice. Isn't that lucky? Or if it's heads up. Oh, well, dude, it wasn't, but it's a free penny. You know? Yeah. Lucky day.
Good idea to change your luck.
What?
Got your lottery ticket.
You got me a lottery ticket, dude. That's
yeah, they're lucky.
$10,000 I can win there. Yeah. Dude, I won! Yes! It's expired.
Really?
Are you serious? Whoa! Whoa!
This is a shame.
Too bad.
Just spill my water.
That's a damn shame. I have another idea.
What?
find a four-leaf clover.
Oh, dude! I forgot about those. Yeah. I'm looking for a four-leaf clover. I'm looking for a clover today. I'm looking for a
It's just
four-leaf
really solid.
clover. One to change
There's not a lot of production to it. It's simple. It's like one of the
Dude, I
early
just
Beatles
found one.
songs. And yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah! Where'd it go? Screw this luck of the Irish stuff.
Aren't you Jamaican?
Oh, yeah. That's probably why it didn't work.
That's just something we'll all be singing for years.
That is a song.
It's like a skit in the rap album.
I have no idea what they were doing.
That's Acoustic Sessions, friends of the show.
Is this a new release?
Yeah, I think it is.
So they've been in the
We
studio.
just debuted it.
Yeah.
I mean, that was one of the worst
You could
ones.
you could kind of come up with that if you had no plan at all, right? Like Pepper and Genie, you just walk into his musical studio and do something.
That was horrible.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on it? 314-881-TMA5, 314-881-TMA5. You're also welcome to call in 636-9004 TMA. Steve Schmidt, Kia North County phone lines, and of course email in for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. As we broadcast from the Michelob Ultra Studios, it's our Maggie O'Brien's 9 o'clock hour. And a week from tonight, we'll be at Maggie O'Brien's in Sunset Hills for TMA Live on Lemmings Open Eve, presented by Michelob Ultra.
It'll be a pony.
Yes, it will.
Those are always very fun nights. And Maggie O'Brien does a super job of hosting.
I'm an Eddie McVeigh lemming.
Yeah, I think
So
we
am
all
I.
are.
First time I met Eddie was at a Brian Boehringer charity bowling event that I emceed. First time I'd ever met Eddie.
All right, let's just make this about you.
Well, it's about Eddie. It's about Eddie.
All right.
I just remember him because he bid like $700 on a jersey.
Did he get it?
Yeah, he did.
All right.
And then Brian introduced me to him, and I said, "Oh, big fan of Maggie O'Brien's."
Yeah.
He said, "Nice to meet you. I don't know who you are." Now he does.
Why would he now? Because he bought that jersey?
Is this a sketch?
No, a bit.
We were
Good
talking
news.
up Eddie.
Mark Hanna's on the line. I want to keep going with this, but I
No, you
can't.
don't. I don't even want to keep going with it.
Mark Hanna's on the line. Mark, what a treat. You got to feel like you're spending your sponsorship dollars wisely.
My ears are bleeding after that open.
I wasn't in for the open.
Hey, Mark, your name came up. Your name came up earlier when we were talking about this $500 million that the city and the county can't seem to spend right to get the maximum out of it. What would someone do with $500 million to make sure that the principal is safe, but you maximize the guaranteed return?
Well, you invest it with me, that's for sure.
There you go, Doug.
That was my suggestion too.
You hear that, Paige?
If I had somebody come to me with $500 million, I don't know if I would be advertising on this network.
Oh, I'm sorry, I brought it up now.
Drop out of that.
Well, it'd be because of us, so you got it.
In all seriousness, I think that this is, to be sure, there are things that can be done. Somebody sent in a note about treasuries, for example, that you can position that money appropriately to get a little bit better return. And my thought is always, if you can align the time frame with the options that are out there, get the best available options that you can. And so to get a few more bucks, it seems as obvious to me as it does to everybody else for something like $5 million. There are things that can be done there. Where this really comes back to, and this is my own philosophy, is that so much of when it comes to our financial planning actions is the decisions that we make. And so often people are trying to make a perfect decision instead of trying to make a prudent decision. So, of course, politics, they can't figure it out because it's a goat rodeo. But get your heads together, make a decision, get the money invested because it's still going to sit there for a while. It's not a hard decision. And it really is the same way for all of our own individual positions. I've seen people sit on the sidelines and wait, trying to make the perfect decision instead of making the prudent decision about getting that short-term money set up, that long-term money set up. It's no different for us individually, and this is what was coming to mind when I was listening earlier. They are going through the same struggle to decide that we go through individually, and it's so important just to make a decision, and they need to. This is so obvious to me as it is to everybody else.
Yeah, can you get a guaranteed 2% and not risk any of the capital on money like that?
Again, somebody sent in the note about treasuries. You can put it into something like treasuries, and I don't know exactly what they're getting right now, but if you can get a little bit better and it's locked up for 90 days or 60 days or something like that, so be it. Then you get a little bit better return, and it's out there. Is it, as you said, guaranteed? Well, if the government goes belly up, it's not guaranteed. So I'm not going to use that word, but it seems pretty cut and dry to me.
Yeah. Mark, are there any, I mean, you can't really say yes or no, but in the future, are there any stocks out there that are like Apple? Like if you invested in Apple 20 years ago, you're a multimillionaire. Do you see any stocks like that in the future that could do that?
Stock tips.
I like that.
I don't follow individual stocks, I'm going to be honest with you, because it's so hard to get that figured out. Yeah. And so what I advocate for people is if you think about when you're buying stocks, you're buying shares of ownership in companies that sell their products all over the world, and you are an owner, and therefore when they are making money, you are making money. What is going to be the next big winner? I don't know. It's really hard to pick the next big winner. So instead, like with your 401k that you're invested in mutual funds which are pools of money, thousands of different companies. You're participating in human ingenuity, the growth of the global economy, and that's where you win. And there are going to be some that are going to take off, some that are going to sit there, and some that are going to be somewhere in between. But it's the collective that's going to appreciate and win. I'm sure there are people that are way smarter than me that could say, hey, you ought to buy this stock, but that's not my game.
That's good knowledge. It's Mark Hanna. You hear why we love him. 314-889-0503 or go online at evergreenstl.com. Before we let you go, Mark, I just got this email. Tim McKernan at InsideSTL.com. You can send yours. Tim, I would like to pass along my wife and I had our first call with Mark Hanna this week and could not be more fired up about working with him. My wife was skeptical as she believes anyone associated with this show is a basement-dwelling sludge person.
Yeah.
But she couldn't have been put more at ease after spending 15 minutes talking with Mark. We've been wanting to start the journey of finding the right advisor for us, and we believe we found that with Mark. This is one of the most important steps we can make to live the life we want to live, and it's all thanks to this stupid show, Long Live TMA. So there you go, Doug. Another very happy Mark Hanna, Evergreen Wealth Strategies phone call. And customer, listener of TMA, 314-889-0503. Go online at evergreenstl.com. Thank you, Mark.
See you guys.
All right, Hansy.
Mark Hanna.
He's pulled someone else out of the sludge.
Yeah. Sludge people.
Right. Walrusy sludge people.
Doug, Ryan Fitzpatrick used to quarterback the Fighting Rammies of St. Louis.
Yes, he did. Harvard grad.
And he appeared on Dan Patrick's show. Take a listen if you
did he?
Levitard.
Oh, Dan Levitard.
Brian, so there were several reports last year. Now, granted, these reports came from callers into a Washington, D.C. sports radio station that you had hurt yourself last year before the season on a water slide. And I think that's like, listen, you probably shouldn't be doing that right before the NFL season if indeed these rumors are true. And so I just want to either find out if they're true or put the rumors to bed. Were you indeed, did your career end on a water slide?
No, I got hurt in a game. I think everybody saw that, but I don't know. That's, I'm now part of it. I'm now part of the media, but I think we all, and you probably already knew the answer to that question. So I know it's funny and light, but now you give a rumor some more breath, but it's silly and it doesn't make sense, and no, that never happened.
How does Ryan Fitzpatrick attack a water slide? Is it
feet first, head first?
Head first on the belly. How's this one working?
we We can move on to something else.
Okay, it's a
Way to go, Stugotz.
That's the line.
I can't control what the caller's saying to a DC radio
The
station.
guy's been playing forever, and that's the line that you cross with your water flume buffoonery.
And you had to
Pissed
offer.
off that
Gosh.
Nice.
Was that uncomfortable?
Those wacky radio guys.
What show was that?
It's Dan Levitard. It's incredibly successful. Doug, you and I had the same reaction. You kind of gasped when you heard Levitard go there again because it was clear he just didn't like it.
Right, and he had this funny question he was going to ask, regardless of if the guy just shot you down or not.
Yeah, surprised. But my question, Jackson, do you know any of the backstory on this?
Yes.
Okay, what's the backstory?
Like
between the show and Fitzpatrick. Is there tension between the show and Fitzpatrick?
No, it was clear and evident that like after they asked that question, he didn't want to keep going. And then Levitard. I mean, Ryan Fitzpatrick's been doing a ton of interviews recently because he's just now getting in. I don't know which show he's on for like pregame or postgame, but he's in something like that now because he was just on Pardon My Take. And so he's been getting asked a lot about all this stuff. And so it was evident that like either he's just exhausted by all this, and he certainly did not want to answer the water slide thing. But that's all the like context I have of that.
Okay.
But like they were like the big story is like he's claiming that he's the guy that Tom Brady was talking about when he said like that MFer, you're keeping that MFer when he was deciding where he was going to go after New England. Even though Derek Carr seems to be the consensus of who Tom Brady was talking about, but so like everyone's asking about that. That's why the last sentence at the end of that is like you pissed off that MFer. So there's some context.
All right, Doug, there it is.
Okay.
Stugotz.
All right.
Yeah, Stugotz.
Doug, are you a Stugotz guy?
I don't know.
He's
Stu.
still on there?
Oh, yeah,
I
Stugotz.
don't know Stu.
Fitzpatrick. He sounds like you're not a Stugotz guy.
I can't understand what he's saying most of the time.
He is, yeah.
Fitzpatrick had a nice career. When the Rams got him, he looked like he was going to be just a backup to kick around.
Yeah, you're right.
And got a chance to play and turned out to be a productive guy.
He had a nice win for him against the Texans, though, if you remember.
Yeah, he did.
He's played for like half of the NFL teams. Fitzpatrick. He's played for so many teams.
You remember the news conference he gave where he brought his kid up there? Remember that?
And a kid is like super smart.
He said somebody throw a math question at my son. The kid looked like maybe he was 10, 12 years old. And one reporter says, what's 3,928 times 417? And the kid looked up in the sky and moved his lips a little bit and then spit out the correct answer.
Ryan Fitzpatrick is like a mad genius. I know he went to Harvard, but he's like a rugged, gritty-looking guy that you don't really think had that intelligence, but then you hear him talk, it's like, oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we get him on and ask him how much he's worth?
That would be awesome.
As a first question?
I bet he's worth $100 million.
Who was that question
Well,
asked
it could
that got
be.
upset?
Yeah.
Lou Diamond Phillips, I believe.
I don't know that he was ever one of those $20 million a year quarterbacks, but he did last a long time.
$82 million in career earnings.
That's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Guys, when Fitzpatrick was playing in Miami, that show exactly wasn't Fitz's friend. That's from the 314.
Yeah, I guess when Levitard was still, because now he's all podcast. That's the only thing they do.
Yeah, I'm surprised he would even go on it.
It's one of those popular shows, and a popular person I just am never really found as entertaining as most, and that's Dan Levitard. Not saying I don't like the guy or anything.
What about Stugotz?
I don't care about Stugotz. That dude could leave the show tomorrow. I have no idea.
What the hell is Stugotz? Why is he chirping?
It's just a show that's way too quirky and
his dad, right?
Forced to be funny. No, Stugotz is definitely not Levitard's
No,
dad.
when he did his show, highly
Named
questionable.
Levitard.
Right, his highly questionable show, he did have his dad on all the time.
That's who I thought Stugotz was. That's why I said I can understand the guy.
His dad was a Cuban guy, right? Who sat in the middle and just smiled and didn't seem to say a whole lot.
That's why I don't understand Stugotz. That's more Italian, isn't it?
It's more like
it's a
New Yorker guy.
I thought it was Stugotz.
His last name isn't Gotts. You know, Tony
His
Soprano.
nickname is John Wiener and Stugotz. Go ahead, Jackson. You're about to tell us.
Well, the Tony Soprano's boat in Sopranos was the Stugotz.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was Italian. It was an Italian thing.
Right.
All right, well.
All right.
Right.
His dad is Cuban, so that really wouldn't have made any sense. But now I know it's not his dad, so.
It's like the sketches and bit central for that show. And I just can't. It's, again, forced funny. And to me, the harder you try to be funny, like the less entertaining it is for me.
Well, certainly that interview was an example of that.
Yeah, that's what I'm
saying.
saying.
Where you think you got a funny topic, and you're going to go with it regardless of the answer that you get from the guy.
I'm not a big fan of that style of play.
Yeah.
But if you're that popular, making millions a year, I guess you do have that cachet.
Yeah. And we've done some stupid stuff on here.
Are you kidding me? Absolutely.
The Dan Levitard Show is the 3rd sports podcast on the charts.
Oh, yeah. Again, super popular. It's one that I just have not gotten. I don't find Dan Levitard as entertaining as, I guess, the majority of the people.
Arbor Day's not happy. This flame-broiled moron, my lord, just set out a few plays. Ken, you don't have to swing at every pitch. Doug, that's Arbor Day. It's your favorite holiday.
It's the first time I talked in the segment, so.
Speaking of that, I just saw the article where Christian Yelich last night admitted that he wasn't going to swing at the first pitch.
Correct.
Yeah. You see that?
He could have bombed that thing
Yeah, he
to
said
outer
you never know
space.
what might have happened to the ball. I wanted them to have it for history.
How about that?
I mean, he could have crushed that opening pitch.
Maybe so, yeah. I wonder if he told Molina, I'm not swinging at the first pitch.
It seemed pretty evident by the way he was standing at the plate, I thought.
The whole thing.
He went statue.
Yeah, he just stood there flat-footed. I felt like that was like telegraphed.
Well, the whole pregame ceremony felt so sentimental that, like, I would assume that Yelich was aware of the record they were setting.
Yeah.
Would have been funny to him to just belt that. And the ball had gone for. That would have actually been kind of funny.
Waino said that.
Wait, right, you want the ball?
Go get it.
First pitch.
Waino said that. He's like, that would have been really awkward if he would have just hammered that first pitch.
Guys, it's hard to blame Iggy. I thought Weezer was Tim's dad. Thanks. That's from Minute Bowl eligible.
No, Donnie Most and Tim's dad.
Donnie Most.
Weezer's younger than Tim.
That duo of interns, I still will never forget. Although Wrestler Calvin and Evil David Letterman
I heard that the Weezer segment the other day.
I did too.
Listen in the middle of the afternoon.
How hilarious!
I happen to be listening too.
Yeah, he talked about
his
being
pictures.
topless at a barbecue. Haven't you ever gone to a barbecue?
I love hearing.
We just kept discovering pictures
Right.
over
Scissoring
and
with
over.
gentlemen.
Scissoring with gentlemen.
And Joe Rod is such a great addition to that segment because he was the one actually at the remote finding these vile pictures, and he would bring them up on air as Weezer were trying to defend the nipple piercing with a fish hook. That was one of the best segments of all time. Hands down.
I saw Weezer a year or two ago in St. Charles somewhere with his wife, and I think he has a baby and everything.
Got a baby.
Oh, Weezer's all grown up.
Yeah.
You know how they do those things with Keishi from the window where they have former jocks and everybody come back and do stuff? We should try to do one with TMA and just get everybody who's ever been a part of the show just on a huge day.
Bit of a reunion show.
I think that would be really
have
fun.
everybody ask
Doug, let's have a
questions.
reunion show.
Okay.
Joe and Iggy on opposite bookends.
Oh, that's
We'll
right.
have that reunion at noon today.
Yeah.
I
Joe
think
will
it'd be
be a
fun.
part of it.
Because there's a lot of stuff I don't know that went on the show way back in the day.
I saw account executive Mike recently, and when I say recently, within the year. And that literally threw me back to, like, my first day on the job. So I'd love to see Sack, and account executive Mike, all those dudes come back. Like, that would be super fun.
How about that guy that used to pee on the bathroom floor?
That was... Well, then we had the push-up guy, Leo. He got so bored and was just doing that internship just to graduate that, like, in the middle of a hot take, he would just start pounding out, like, a set of 20.
Well, that's good for you. It's kind of like Jack LaLanne.
Me and Seymour were just kind of sitting there awkwardly.
Joe would do that. Joe would do push-ups in the studio.
Joe did have a run of doing push-ups in the commercial break. You're right. It did happen.
Yes, what a douche.
No, that's a good thing to be doing. That's good for you. It's great exercise.
Pop a quick 20 and you're good.
Yeah, wish I had that energy.
There was an intern once, if I remember correctly, that was going to divinity school after his internship.
That's correct.
Oh, he went to, what was that really expensive ninth divinity school out in California?
Wasn't it Pepperdine?
Oh, yeah.
No, it was like a Pepperdine. Maybe it was.
Yeah.
Doug, was it Pomona?
That might have
You're the
been.
man.
Yeah.
Pomona. That he seemed out of his element at the time.
He was going to deal with the devil first and then go to divinity school.
He's already been put through it.
Guys, speaking of nicknames, is Shay Fenderbender the married chick who tossed his pizza rolls in Iggy's living room sink prior to doing the sex? Or was it Gail Vulva? Thanks, that's from Gunter.
I'd rather had either of those. And one's a dude.
Oh.
Doug Shea Fenderbender.
I don't know him.
Shea Bittenbender.
Bowler, right?
Yes. And Jackie Bowling.
Jackie
first,
Bowling.
First couple of bowling in St. Louis.
But Bowling isn't her real last name. It's like Ryan Mortgage.
No, it's Marikovich.
Marikovich. Okay.
I think it's Dutch.
Marikovich? Doesn't sound Dutch to me.
Jack.
Guys, this is random, but can you play the clip of the guy who got mad that Tim did a live read prior to having him on? It's from Steve in Wildwood. That was like a USA Today writer, and he scolded us for doing a live read while he was on hold before we brought him in. I remember we were at 9:20 because for whatever reason I can picture where it was, and I was just like, wow.
Hal Bodley?
No, it was a Dan. I remember that. But I think there was a Dan Wetzel and there was a Dan somebody else, not Lebitard. And, God, it just shows what the show was doing then, that we would even have that on. And, yeah, I remember bringing him on. He's bitching that we did a lot.
I'm sure you were busy with a lot of other radio stations you need to get to.
Well, yeah. There's been some characters come through here.
He can be at our reunion.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I want to hear because we don't do it anymore. All right, let's go to the phone lines. And from USA, beat writer Dan Wetzel.
Yeah, those don't make the best of segments on TMA all day.
No. Except, who was it ordered McDonald's while he was on with you guys?
We've had a few people. Edmonds did it once. Mike Shannon used the restroom.
Didn't James
Carville did.
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
That could make it.
Dan Wolkin, that was the guy's name. People are texting it in.
When you're in the drive-thru at McDonald's and it's your turn to order, it doesn't matter if you're on the radio. You're going to place your order.
Oh, producer Joe is listening, and he says Dan Wolkin, he's the worst and had a hard-on for Frank Haith. Huh.
Who had a hard? Who
Makes
would
two
ever
of
have
us.
a hard on for Frank? I guess he was a decent.
Well, it was a good pickup for Joe.
So he's a. I don't think Joe was there. We were at 9:20. He's gone by
in the
then.
mornings.
I wonder why we had him on. There must have been something going on at the time. But yeah, he's a columnist for USA Today. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I just went to his Twitter and
leave Frank Haith alone.
Why are you chirping?
Won 30 games his first year.
Yeah.
Mizzou basketball camp got a lot better when Frank Haith took over.
Did you go?
Every summer.
When Haith was there?
Haith and Anderson.
Did he get a good look at you as a player?
Yeah, he wanted me, but I wanted to keep my options open.
Oh, yeah. So you decided not to play at all in college?
Right, yeah. I thought that was the best way to keep my options open.
I'd rather pay my own way to college, coach.
Yeah. I'll go to the same university, I just won't play and pay for it.
But your dream was to play there, right?
100%.
Yeah.
I just remember when they hired him and Tim said, who? Like everybody
truly,
said, who?
Truly had no idea who the man was when he was hired. 100%.
I'd never heard the name.
I don't think anybody did.
I happened to see it on Tiger Board. As you can imagine, they weren't happy.
No.
And I go, who in the hell is Frank Haith? Because we thought it was going to be Matt Painter.
Yeah.
And then it became Frank Haith. But it worked out in the end.
Not that well.
Yeah, Painter has a consistent top 10 program in the hardest conference in America.
Yeah.
And Haith is he still at Tulsa?
I think he might be.
That's a long
That's the last
tenure
place
for
I heard.
him.
Yeah. Still making probably $1 million a year.
More than that, I guarantee you.
Yeah. God, what a deal if you can get it.
He is not at Tulsa anymore.
Wow. Okay.
His last year was this past year, I believe.
Yeah, there are a few better jobs in the world.
He resigned
head
on
coach.
March 12th, 2022.
Yeah.
Basically, probably gave him the option to resign.
Right. Well,
Doug, why don't we go coach
he's
somewhere?
laughing now on a beach somewhere, probably.
Didn't Tubby Smith coach at Tulsa before he retired? What was his last job? I thought it was Tulsa.
Yeah.
Tubby went to Minnesota.
He did go there.
Well, he's at a small school now.
Yeah, okay.
He's working his way down.
Guys, I loved when Strauss would end his tweets with hashtag Haith crime.
Yeah, I don't think Strauss liked Frank Haith.
Strauss was, I think, confused by Truman oftentimes.
Well, he was
He would
smart.
really enjoy the football. So he would have been on this thing before Manhattan, Kansas, because he could see through the BS.
Yeah, what would you think his take on drink would be? That I miss Strauss for like those moments.
That's the
exactly,
thing.
because like he
Yes.
would love this era of football.
Truman Down is my favorite drink.
Truman Down.
100%. One of the best.
Hooterville, Truman Down.
You could just see that mascot falling to the ground. Oh, we lost again, 40-6. Down goes Truman. Down goes Truman.
But he knew if there's one fan base to poke that will lose their mind, it was and is the Missouri fan base. Speaking of which, we are selling a lot of these This Is Brutal t-shirts today.
An alarming amount.
Are Missouri fans buying? I mean, I guess it is.
Yeah, Missouri fans. And Mizzou haters.
Let's buy them up and have a whiteout at Mizzou next home game.
Well, I think the Abilene Christian game will be lightly attended this Saturday, despite it being a beautiful day forecast-wise. And I guess it's family weekend,
Yeah,
I'm
I
told.
think it's family
So that's
weekend.
going to help provide a floor for the attendance, I
Right.
suppose.
Right. Tailgate will be fun, but
Missouri fans have been through an awful lot of heartache over the years.
I am telling you.
Awful lot.
What is the worst one? You got the fifth down, you got Tyus Edney, you got the flea kicker, you got Norfolk State.
Norfolk State. State is the recent one where it's like, wow.
God, I don't know. 'Cause
Northern Iowa got them.
Yeah, I'm old enough to remember like starting with Northern Iowa.
Some of it's not just a game. Some of it's getting Michael Porter Jr. and he gets hurt right away and you lose that.
Tony Van Zandt.
Van Zandt, same thing.
But the thing with Northern Iowa and Norfolk State is like your anticipation is watching 3 or 4 Missouri tournament games. Like you set yourself up to thinking this is going to be a sick weekend, and the first game you're ousted by a 15 seed. Like that to me increases just the pure disappointment.
Tyus Edney was tough because he just took the ball and went down. Nobody guarded him. Just went through the layup. Game over. Like, do you not see him coming? You just going to let him go?
I think that NCAA, that's probably the worst tournament loss. UCLA was a good team, but you had them beat.
And they wound up winning the national championship.
Yeah, and the fifth down was probably the worst football loss because Colorado was like number 1 in the nation.
And they wound up with in each case that we're talking about here, minus Norfolk State, Colorado won the national championship because of the fifth down. I mean, they lose that, they don't win the national championship. They might have been co-champions that year. I think there was like Georgia Tech or Washington that had a co-national championship. Nebraska was co-national championships with Michigan in 97, Charles Woodson. And in 95, UCLA beat defending champion Arkansas to win the national championship. So all 3 of those, they weren't Norfolk States. They were national champions.
Right.
The flea kicker being the Nebraska one in 97.
I think the fifth down is the hardest because if that had been played nowadays, it would have never happened. There would have been
It's
replay,
hard to believe
and you
how
would
it could have
seen that.
happened then.
Yeah, you're right.
And this wasn't the 1890s that it happened. They had TV, they had replays, they had all that.
The flea kicker I actually
They didn't have
watched.
replays back then.
That
I mean,
was
you
absolutely
couldn't
had
you couldn't stop the play and say, "Hey, we're going to look at the replay and see how many downs."
Well,
I don't think they did that back then.
They had TV replays.
Well, it's counting the 4, you would assume, like, out of 5 refs, one of them would
and the
have
guy with the
actual
chains,
count.
the people doing the chain markers, they had those back
So
then.
really 8 people were involved.
Yeah, a lot of them were involved. Yeah, and no one caught it.
The flea kicker was the first sports event that I can actually remember.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. It
I
was
remember the
crazy.
cutaway.
I don't remember the team. I knew it was Nebraska. I don't hardly, but I remember them continuously showing it on TV for like 25 minutes, and it just gets more crazy every time you watch the replay.
I remember the cutaway of Mizzou coach Larry Smith on the sideline in tears because, my God, we're going to beat these
That's
guys.
what it was after
We're gonna
because
win.
people think that's from with a flea kicker, but it wasn't. It was when Corby Jones leapt over an offender to get into the end zone, and he was in tears, like happy tears, that the team is actually going to beat this team. And Nebraska at that time was like Alabama. I almost because Nebraska. I mean, Alabama beats the hell out of people, but what Nebraska and Florida State and Miami would do in the 80s and 90s is different than what Alabama does. To me, it feels different to me. I don't know. Does it feel different to you?
Kind
when
of,
you cover?
yeah.
Because they would throttle teams. Like this week, Saban's a 49-point favorite against Louisiana Monroe.
and you know they're going to win huge, but he won't like 75-0 it. You know, they do pull off. And at the U, Jimmy Johnson in particular, and the famous one was when Jerry Faust was going to, in his last game as Notre Dame coach, and they just buried him. He's like, yeah, it's what we do. We're going to, these are our third-string guys. Sorry, you can't stop our third string. And Nebraska, you just beat, you had Oklahoma beat Missouri 77-0, A&M beat Missouri 73-0. K-State just beat Missouri 40-6. So maybe we can go back.
The swagger that U program had, and I get the documentaries really enhanced that because I wasn't around in the, watching them in the late 80s, early 90s. That is what they did to teams when basically ruined their seasons, regardless if it was week 1 or week 8, and they would absolutely demoralize you. And then not only could they brag, they could back it up because they're all badasses. Like that whole era of football in college was just.
Miami had one team where they took the team picture and 43 of them played in the NFL.
Yeah.
43.
Is that 2001 team that should have won, and there was the random pass interference call 4 seconds after the play against Ohio State?
That team was so stacked.
Unbelievably stacked.
Crazy.
Most schools, the size of Missouri, might get 1 or 2 guys in the NFL.
That team, the defense on that Miami team, I think almost every one of them played pro.
Yeah. Alabama's doing that now, probably.
Well, of course. Georgia now more so than even Alabama, especially on defense, is doing that now.
I have a terrible memory, but wasn't it a few years ago Mizzou had Georgia beat, and they had like a fourth.
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday.
Fourth and 20-something, and they picked up the first down and scored late.
Well, they kept running no huddle, fast pace, leave 25 seconds left on the game clock.
Ahead by 6, running the hurry-up offense with 2 minutes left.
You could run that clock to 1. I don't know what the exact, but I'm pretty sure you could run that clock to 1 and make it almost impossible for Georgia to make that comeback.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
If you just ran the ball straight up the gut and used 35, 40 seconds.
And that involved how many coaches? All of them. Looking at that thinking, yeah, this is fine. This makes sense. Now, that one person stood up and said, well, hello, wait a minute. Situation's changed here.
Again, this is like Russell Wilson in Denver. Eventually, you just go, okay, I'm a player. I know what I'm doing. I'm calling a timeout. If I'm a player, I'm like, I'm not running this hurry-up crap. We're winning.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one of the more bizarre things I've ever seen from a coaching standpoint.
And you saw what was going to happen 4 minutes before it actually happened because...
Yeah, there was nothing unusual about it. It happens virtually every game. The team that's ahead gets the ball late in the fourth quarter, and they slow it down. You see it every game you ever watch, that happens.
That Drew Lock pick, man. You could feel it.
Was it him? I don't think it was him.
Was it not Lock that was playing on that game?
I don't think it was.
Yeah, you may have been right. I don't know. I thought it was.
I don't think it was. I don't remember who it was, but I don't think that's who it was.
Clock management shouldn't be an issue anymore.
No, I think sometimes when you're watching it in the comfort of your own home, in a relaxed atmosphere, sometimes it's easier to sort out what should happen and what's likely to happen as opposed to being down there on the field in the midst of the chaos with people in your ears and with players on the sidelines and trying to see exactly where the ball got spotted. It's probably a little bit more difficult at times on the sideline than in watching at home.
You're on the 45-yard line, a minute left. Again, we're bringing the Denver Broncos up because it's most recent. Like, I don't care how many people are in my ear surrounding me. You got a crowd of 70,000.
Yeah.
I'm calling one of my 3 timeouts with a minute left. I don't care what other people are saying or what the distractions are.
You would think.
So weird.
I'd like to recommend Centric to our audience. Cybersecurity is the most exciting career in technology and one of the most in-demand. Centric can train you for a career in cybersecurity, and they can do it in just 4 months. Centric's hands-on program teaches you the actual job skills you need to get started. No history, no biology, just technology. That's how they do it in just 4 months, even if you have no IT experience. And you can do it online, or you can do it in person. You can do it in the evenings, or you can do it during the day, whichever works best for you. If you're interested in a career in cybersecurity, call Patrick Nealon at Centric Training today, and he'll walk you through Centric's cutting-edge program and show you everything Centric does to help get you started in your new IT career. Call 314-450-4714 or go to centric.com/STL. That's CENTRIQ.com/STL. Cybersecurity is a problem for every business in St. Louis. You can be part of the solution. Don't forget, coming up in a couple of minutes, the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day, in which we are giving away a foursome to the Lemmings Open, courtesy of James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. What a gesture on his part. So that is coming up in a matter of moments here on the Ryan Kelly Morning After, courtesy of James Carlton. Don't forget also that the This Is Brutal t-shirt in both white and black is available at tmastlshop.com, along with the Pepper and Genie podcast shirt. The Cardinals are coming, tra-la, tra-la. The Banty rooster on the bat, like the Cardinal logo from the 1980s. That's in red, powder blue, and the hoodies are available as well. Everything is 10% off. tmastlshop.com, and the great Mike Flanagan will get it to you quick, fast, and then also, Doug, quick, fast, and in a hurry is what.
Oh, yeah, in a hurry is good.
Is what I would tell you. Check out lowtusa.com and check out Mentality. If you're dealing with a lack of energy, if you are dealing with muscle loss, if you are not experiencing gain like you used to back in the day, but you are putting on weight gains, fatigue, you're tired all the time, you're feeling anxious, you're feeling moody, you're irritable, you're impatient, you're dealing with anxiety or depression, those can be symptoms of low testosterone. Belly fat, feeling bloated, a lack of lean muscle and tone that used to be easy to get rid of or maintain, or low libido. Disinterested in spouse or partner, which can lead to relationship problems. It's time to look into Mentality at lowtusa.com. When you feel like you don't have the energy or drive to keep up with your kids after work, or be the father, husband, and friend that you used to be, that's when you can check out lowtusa.com and Mentality. Mentality is FDA-approved testosterone treatment, board-certified physicians who work with most insurance. I've been out there. I got checked out. It was super easy, super friendly. It's Mentality at lowtusa.com. Check out Mentality at lowtusa.com. And while you're there, you should think about it. That's correct. You should think about it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. A foursome to the Lemmings Open on the line, courtesy of James Carlton. He was going to play, Doug. Can't play now. Guess
Very
who
nice
gets to play?
gesture.
The winner of today's Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. As always, send yours in the morning after at InsideSTL.com. It is the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. And think about it.
Okay.
Oh, on this show, we don't ask uncomfortable questions. Well, tell that to Ron Palillo, Mickey Carroll, and Dustin Diamond's family members, since you killed their boys. And I'll be honest, I didn't have a clue who Frank Haith was. Besides, I'm a football fan. Reminds me of growing up. I remember that one time Uncle Skip and his drinking buddy Tony went to In Cahoots. They came home hammered drunk. Next thing I knew, Tony is naked wearing nothing but his white cowboy hat.
What?
He looked like Bum Phillips, punishing one of his players from behind for dropping a touchdown pass. It's pretty erotic. That's from Lou, and the last name is Burkent.
Odd. Lou Burkent?
That's funny.
He's new.
To whom it may concern, please advise on who we need to speak to and or what terracotta hairdresser we need to Venmo to get a new batch of Hedo stories. For, quote, a guy who apparently has an endless supply, we literally hear the same set of stories every 3 to 5 weeks. I'm willing to do almost anything, including continually hounding a few strangers, if I can watch them have sex while I sheepishly follow them around a sex camp for the middle-aged sads with the hail-damaged thighs who had a tough time making friends in high school after their parents' divorce and still haven't really gotten over it. Shout out to Raby and his supple rack. Thanks, that comes from a vector file.
Vector file.
No golf for you, buddy.
Morning, Tim. First timer here. A little bit about myself. I'm a bi-curious walrus from Lower Jefferson County that splits his time between the southern shore of River Des Peres and the Hoosier Soup at the Lake of the Ozarks. I'm a shameless James Carlton State Farm lemming. I will be attending the ball game this evening, and if it would help my case, I'd be glad to show some nip on the Jumbotron if they catch me eating the home plate nachos. Please circle 1. Yes, wear a Slim Fit Triple XL TMA shirt. No, do not wear a Slim Fit Triple XL TMA shirt. In closing, I'd just like to say Doug Vaughn is a local treasure, and I've been frequently draping myself in an anthracite velvet jumpsuit and timing my explosion to Tim shouting, "Block him," while simultaneously looking at a 3D printed bust of Doug I bought off the dark web.
Oh.
That's from LJC Walrus.
Didn't know it was out there. LJC Walrus.
Hey, guys, I'm Pepper, and this is my geriatric subordinate, Genie. Neither of us have ever been married, nor have we had children, but today on Pepper and Genie, we're going to tell you how to have a long-lasting, sex-filled marriage, and if you're lucky, that sex might even be with you. Number 1, set ground rules. The last thing you want in your marriage is to find yourself sitting in the corner of a 350-square-foot Section 8 apartment in Maryland Heights watching your wife and the mother of your children mouthify the unit of a human equivalent of an old work boot left out in the sun for a month or two. And if this is unavoidable, at least ask that she not have all-you-can-eat sketty from Fazoli's so she won't end up going through an exorcism into said work boot's bathroom sink / CD rack / old Playboy holder. Number 2, never, and I mean never, allow your significant other to head over to the not-so-local Army base to see some, quote, friends she hasn't seen in a while. Trust me, she's seen them and had them and tasted them. Put your foot down. Number 3, if you catch your significant other soliciting teenagers to go to a concert on Facebook Marketplace, don't jump to conclusions. Yeah. There's probably a perfectly normal, completely on board with all state and local statutes explanation. Trust is key. Number 4, and lastly, don't go through your significant other's phone or financial records. Trust us, you don't want to see how the sausage is made. Imagine finding out that your loved one spends 75% of their $400 monthly allowance that Tim gives them out of his own pocket on Dillian Harper's Only Foods account. Follow these tips, and you will probably find yourself in a loving, long-lasting marriage, or don't. F you guys. That's from Pepper and Genie. If young Pop-Pop don't trust you, I'ma shoot you, Doug Blueberry Pop-Pop.
Blueberry Pop.
Making a glorious return. Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
My wife is going out of town this weekend, so I'll be trolling the foot golf tournament at Francis Park for divorced dadween. $40 for all you can drink, and I get to watch overweight dads try to kick a soccer ball more than 10 yards. I'd pay $80. The dichotomy of drunk fat dads and loser tryhards with high socks taking foot golf too seriously because they can't get hard will be marvelous. I'll be in the handball courts taking celebrity shots of man love to my face. Gotta go. Doug, that's bisexual Todd.
Bisexual Todd.
Hey, has this ever happened to you? A few nights ago, I was packing my lunchbox for the next day when I let one rip. And by that, I mean I broke wind and let a little squeaker slip out of my backside. No big deal. Happens all the time. It smelled sour and musty like normal. My palate detected hints of a Taco Bell bean burrito.
We don't need to know that.
Slight notes of Slim Jim beef jerky, and I picked up just a whisper of lubricated latex. I enjoyed the scent, so I let another one slip past my cheeks, all in good fun. Just a man making a turkey sandwich while simultaneously passing gas in the comfort of his own kitchen. I sealed the Tupperware and put my lunch in the fridge without giving it one second thought. The next day, I opened my sandwich, ready to take a big old bite. However, I was greeted with the lingering waft of the previous night's pungent aroma. Like the faint trace of an absent lover's high karate cologne that hangs in the air even after they've hit it and quit it. My own delicious gas delicately tickled my nostrils as a reminder of yesterday's digested fast food. The best part was that my own Tupperware preserved gases reminded me of my buddy Jeremy's breath, which frequently smells exactly like my colon. And Doug, that's because he puts his mouth on my butt. So I'll ask again, is this ever happened to you? The JV golf coach.
JV golf coach. Can't vote for him for that one.
Hey, boys. I think I stumbled on a bit of a game changer here. I am back with my boyfriend Simon and his wife, but during our hiatus, I realized I still really like dudes, but not so much their dirty boy holes. I'm more of a manicured girl hole guy. I tried numerous techniques to get Simon's hole the way I wanted, but always remained too aromatic and unkempt. We tried numerous positions where I entered Simon's wife while he laid atop her, but every time she came out for air and I went soft. Then, after a recent fan page post, the light bulb went off. That could be a T-shirt. I went into my travel bag and pulled out my fleshlight and jammed that sumbitch in Simon's brownie bowl and went to town.
Oh, no.
I heartily advise you all to try it out. Got a scoot. That's from Doug's Microphone Shadow.
Doug's Microphone Shadow.
And finally, gentlemen, good morning. I know email of the day is reserved for funny and silly stories, but I'd like to take a more serious tone here for just one day to commend you all. And the serious tone of your first hour this morning when discussing the incompetencies of St. Louis and its leadership. You resisted the urge to crack jokes on the low-hanging fruit and instead addressed some of the more core issues. And I think that should be applauded. You see, I've been a consumer of HD2 morning shows ever since there was that one 6 to 7 a.m. experimental show that debuted midweek and unannounced with Larry voicing the open where he said something about the show's success, wholly depending on the sleep schedules of the host. And then there were fireworks for some reason. But never once have I heard another show in the STL market have the courage to call out the nonsense taking place each and every day in the city that we all know and love. You hit all the major points: poor leadership, gross incompetence, inability to understand the optics, and distrust. And then unexpectedly and unprompted, the producers on your show added some topics that many in the region hadn't even considered, like what the hell's up with the Tums cam at Busch Stadium? And there's a bunch of portly hippos sitting in the bleachers kissing as the crowd laughs. But even if it's your mom or your sister, everybody kisses. So what's up with that? Plus, as Iggy mentioned a couple weeks ago, if you aren't married, you can't even have a mom. So how do we address that when it comes to the Tums cam? Mayor Jones, you are on the clock. And most importantly, I think it was Plowsy who boiled down the biggest pain point facing St. Louis when he so eloquently and bravely stated, I think the main problem is that Busch Stadium doesn't have enough snacks. I'd like to see maybe some sour gummy worms, or maybe even an entire kiosk dedicated to one of those Little Debbie processed chocolate and cream rolls that my nanny, Madison, packs into my Power Rangers lunchbox, or maybe even a Texas-sized cinnamon roll store. I've run the numbers, and I think it's a small niche market that would really fast-track the city's revenue growth. Kudos for having the courage to finally say what needed to be said, Plow Toddler. Not enough people are willing to talk about Busch Stadium not having enough gas station snacks. Sure, you have ice cream and peanuts and chocolate and nachos and chicken tenders and fries and cotton candy and hot dogs, but what about Nanner from Huck's, or an expired Yogi with mold, or a bag of Gobstoppers? Until Busch Stadium starts carrying Snick Stacks marketed towards 11-year-olds with diabetes and Pitbull posters on their bedroom walls, we'll be forever destined to have our top talent migrate to cities like Chicago, San Diego, and Charlotte. The ball's in your court, Dr. Page. Thanks. That's from Gunter. Jackson, what the hell does learn seeing you? Seriously, though, I try to exhibit basic human decency at least once a day. Like yesterday, for example, there was a short lady trying to do a mundane and normal task. So I did what I always do and forced myself into the situation to make things objectively worse. And then this jackass had the nerve to politely ask me to stop interrupting her. Like, whatever. That's my random act of kindness for the day, so screw you, lady.
Yeah.
Doug Gunter.
Gunter. That was a long one.
That was worthy.
It was a long one.
Well, my vote is going to be brought to you by Dents Express.
Nice.
That's where they take your car for minor dents and dings for paintless dent repair. I call it PDR. You guys don't know what that means. I won't go into it now, but it just means you can get your car repaired without having to go through the expensive and time-consuming paint repair process. They repair minor collision damage, hail damage, and they do domestic or cosmetic wheel repair. 2 locations. They're on Manchester and West County, a little bit west of 270, and on Hughes Lane in St. Charles. You mentioned TMA. They'll give you 10% off your repair. That's nice. Locally family-owned and operated business by the Wilson family. Go see Gray, Wilson. You go see Gray, and it'll make your day. If your car's a dimpled mess, go see Dents Express. Dents Express, STL.com. Now, as for my vote...
Yeah, this is big. A foursome to the Lemmings Open.
I did like, right at the top, I like Lou Briquette. But I'm gonna vote for Blueberry Pop Pop. I thought that was the best one.
God, there were so many good ones today.
There was a lot of good ones.
Thanks to James Carlton for bringing them out. For me, it's between bisexual Todd.
The guy servicing people at the soccer
Well,
tournament?
getting his face hit at the handball court did it for me. Or it's going to be JV golf coach. I'm going to go with bisexual Todd.
Doug, the winner is Blueberry Pop Pop.
Oh,
if young
right.
Pop Pop don't shoot you, I'm going to kill you.
We should pick a backup just in case.
Don't you want bisexual Todd since that's where you go?
No. No.
I mean, Gunter seemed good.
Oh,
wasn't bad.
He got man love in the face at the handball court.
That's why I wouldn't vote for him.
That's why I voted for him.
Oh. We have to pick a backup now?
It's just best to.
Yeah, just pick one.
Okay, I'll go Gunter.
Gunter is not eligible.
Yeah, he's not coming in for that.
Okay, bisexual Todd.
You got it.
Bisexual Todd.
Boy, the bar said pretty low what you have to do for tickets around here.
Well, we could have given it to Kevin Miller. Maybe he'll come out of retirement.
It's so Blueberry Pop Pop won, and then if he can't go, then we'll go give it to bisexual Todd. Imagine him coming up to see us.
Time for us to shut it down. Jackson and I are going to go deal with it down the hallway.
Come and get your whooping.
Pepper and Genie is coming up in here. We've got Pick 6 coming up. So much going on. And you can get it all at the TMA STL app. Download it and enjoy it. And don't forget the TMA STL shop now has the This Is Brutal t-shirt. And I think we're going to get hoodies going, too. 10% off everything. TMASTLshop.com. Balloon party starts in 2 minutes on 101 ESPN. Text in there, 65780. See if you can break Action Jackson or leave a mic drop via 101 ESPN. For the Plowhawk, for Action Jackson, for Kenneth Iggy Strode, for my brother Kevin, for Douglas Elvin Vaughn, I'm Tim McKernan. This has been the Ryan Kelly Morning After. Closing out the Maggie O'Brien's 9 o'clock hour from the Michelob Ultra Studios.